We got another co-host, and she's prettier than you, so. Let me see. Let me try to look at my Facebook groups.
I don't even know how Facebook works.
You're being facetious, right?
No, I don't have one.
Yeah, really? a lot of the millennials don't have.
She never ate cheese by herself.
They're millennials, right?
Yeah,
okay.
we are.
The millennials too cool for Facebook. They just Twitter.
I mean, I have one, but it's like.
It's just for family stuff.
No, I think it's a fan page.
Oh.
So I don't.
Excuse me.
What
out of me?
They gonna see what's on that mother.
She said, I don't even know how it works. My team handles that.
Pretty much.
I ain't mad though. She was so cool.
They just tell me what happened.
Like,
Well,
I'll just pop this collar for a moment.
I heard it was funny though.
From what they tell me, you guys have a ball on that little website.
Oh man, y'all in for a great fucking show tonight. I'm telling y'all.
Bullshit. I'm putting this in all. I'm putting this in the freak groups too.
In the what?
The freak groups.
Oh my gosh.
See, I'm a part of the team with Shanti's group. That's me.
Oh, okay.
The Juice Box, Promote Yourself, ATL.
The juice box.
Backed up.
What y'all talk about in there?
Badu Box.
Oh, okay.
Sing to the gods.
So did anybody say what it smelled like? Did anybody get it?
Now, all we saw was the dude eat it.
Yep.
So we don't know what the hell going on. But,
Research on that.
okay. What we doing? All right, Xavier, let's go ahead and get it cranked up.
Yep. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Xavier, what's the name of the show?
It's a pod named Kickback. A pod named Kickback. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You say the whole thing.
Welcome to a pod named Kickback, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. I'm no breaks new, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I'll catch it. If you got it, I'll match it. Every Monday. Be right back at it. I am the Black Savage.
What's up, y'all? It's JB Frank. I'm that gangster geek representing NWA, Nerds with Attitude. Happy Monday, everybody.
And we have two lovely guests here with us this week.
Indeed.
One you recognize from 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago, a month ago?
Yeah.
So we have the corporate black girl, Brittani Sade in the motherfucking video. I can let you introduce yourself. Do you have a tagline now? You're not a rookie no more. So I'm Brittani Sade. I love the party. They say what you doing. I did it all day. Something.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to practice that one.
She gonna work on that tagline.
I'm gonna work on it. I got it all this time.
Okay. And our guest to the right of me, I introduce her this way. I hope she doesn't mind. I'm gonna introduce her this way. I was born and raised a Dallas Cowboy fan. My mother, I was in DC. I wanted to be a Racing fan. My mom was like, we Cowboy fans. So I had to suffer through 1 to 15 seasons. My team being the worst team in the whole league.
Yeah.
And then we started winning Super Bowls.
Great times.
And one of the biggest reasons for that is her dad, one of my favorite players, Deiondra Sanders of the Dallas Cowboys. And in the building today, we have Deiondra Sanders. Well, do you have a round? You have something you want to do?
I don't.
But let's tell them who you are. Well, aside from that, everything else you do, because you do a lot of shit. And me and JD was like, you do what? Say that again.
Right.
What does that mean?
How does that work? Well,
a business woman.
Well, I am Deiondra Sanders. I own hair company, shopprimetimehair.com, and I also work at a sports agency called SC3.
Boom. Dope. Any clients we may know? Can you say that?
Well, we actually have one named Jodie Fortson that just won the Super Bowl.
Hey!
Oh, yeah.
That's for Jeremy seeing the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. My team too, since I've been right.
You know what? I know what I'm going to do. If I hadn't broken my ankle last year, I was going to come out of retirement and sign with y'all. But I just realized all this metal on my ankle, it would never work.
It's like all the screws in my head.
Right. I really did, but my ankle was like, my foot was facing that way. I'll show you a picture. You want to see a picture?
No.
I'll show it to you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was fucked up. It was fucked up.
It was literally
like, I'm good. Yeah.
And the live we was at last night, a girl wanted to me said, "You was at the last event, but you had that bootleg on." I was like, "Yeah, that was me. Yeah, it was me." So as always, I remind you guys to follow us on Instagram, Twitter. It's always a pod named Kickback on Twitter, a pod named Kickback on Facebook, a pod named Kickback on Instagram, a pod named Kickback on Christian Mingle, and a pod named Kickback on niggas who like black girls and fuck y'all Bamas. We on all those sites. And the last one is that's Deondra's new website she created, right? No? Okay. So
No.
alright, so we gonna have some fun. We got some crazy topics, some good topics. I think the first thing I want to get into was last night.
Yeah.
We did a event with Jay. It was a girl talk with Jay, talking about sex with friends.
A lot of fun.
And lot of fun. I was the only guy on the panel.
This was our second show with them, though, right?
Well, shit, man, our fourth. Well, podcast our second.
Thank you.
But we've done a shit ton of
a bunch of other stuff with them. Yeah.
These are all sex panels, so we get up there and tell everybody, you know, we give them
What you be telling them?
What
do you be curious?
Well, my biggest piece of advice I always give is listen to the moms, let them guide you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the ladies will let you know what to do and what not to do if you listen, if you pay attention. I always recommend, being clean for your lady, smelling good for your lady, eating properly, a lot of fruit and water, tasting good for your lady, and giving women the freedom to tell you what they like and what they don't like. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women are like, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to tell him this. He might hurt his feelings. I don't want to say that. Like, nah, my mom, you tell me. Let me know. You don't like that? I ain't gonna do it no more. You do like that? I'm gonna do the fuck out of it. Don't do it too much. Okay, I'll do it every now and then. That communication is key because I'm listening. Because the goal is to please your woman and to make sure she's happy every time.
Pleasing your woman pleases you, from my perspective. Like, I mean, it's not really fun for me if both of us are having fun. And I think that's just kind of the mantra that we live by. And it can seem a little unique sometimes, I guess, from what we've heard from other people, though. You know.
Yeah, ladies are like, men don't act like that. You know what's starting? I was telling JB earlier. Whenever we say something like, well, something, it goes like, well, yeah, okay, you say that, but that's not all men. Okay, I like, I wanted to see the photograph. I said, didn't say the notebook. I wanted to see the photograph. Most men don't want to see the photograph. Okay, I'm like, damn, JB, are we Avengers or something? Like, what the fuck? We do everything the niggas ain't doing. Like, what the fuck? But I think it's probably being old though, because JB like 62. So it's probably.
I was like, dang, you look good.
No, he really thought I was 62 though. Wow! That was like, that was within the realm of possibilities and shit.
No, the 80% was going to be about what you're eating and what your skin regimen.
He runs baby piss on his face. And he drinks water.
Don't listen to him.
He does.
The views of New the Mayor are not the views of JB Frank or our name Kickback. Under any circumstances, you should not listen to him.
Before we cut the camera and the mics on, these motherfuckers in here talking about rubbing piss on faces.
I was not one of those people. It wasn't me though.
Eating placentas.
I get lumped into.
Y'all was talking about this. I was over there in the corner. I was over there praying. I was like,
really?
I was, because I'm innocent. I was
talking about that.
You weren't in the conversation? You weren't involved in the conversation?
I said it was
disgusting.
I said it was disgusting.
It is, but it all still has a healthy...
Okay, so break it down. So now we broached this horrifically unhygienic topic. Like, tell them what we were talking about.
We have to have our skin clear.
Go ahead, because you brought it up. You were the one who said it.
I didn't bring that up.
Somebody said that baby piss clears the skin, and it wasn't me. So who was it?
No, that was not me. All I said was, you know what, I have heard that is true.
Guilty.
So it was you.
I came in to take a job.
Thank you. I was like, oh, okay. He ain't. I looked over there like, oh, okay. You're not gonna. And in my head, I was thinking like, oh, you really not gonna say that?
So y'all were waiting.
You know what I was thinking? I was like, I don't know who said it.
Man, no.
I was waiting a little long.
I know she co-signed.
came
I was like, I'm gonna accuse somebody. Somebody gonna step up because it wasn't me who said that shit.
The only thing I'll say is I can admire when women want to have their faces immaculate, skin clean. So I try to contribute as much as possible to that.
How do you try to?
Enzymatic protein shots in the face.
Oh, they got mad at me last night. Tell me how y'all feel about this. I got a question. They got mad at me last night because I said that the question was, what's your perfect happy ending or something like that? And I was like, well, I don't like to be in control of my orgasm, so I don't want to be on top. So either like women riding me or getting the head. And I was like, I especially love when they Kurt Cobain when they kill themselves. And I was like, Kurt Cobain. I was like, yeah, when they grab the dick and they shoot themselves.
You know,
they was like, I can't say Kurt Cobain. It's sensitive. I was like,
podcast didn't hear any of that.
I didn't think that was wrong. You can't say that. It's suicide, right? You're shooting yourself.
Suicide.
I have no words. I have zero.
So I told y'all this.
But they got mad at me yesterday. But they get mad at me. But it was like, you can't say that. And I was like, you feel the same way? I can't say that.
No, I don't. It's not even about the
this
word.
This isn't what you expected.
I'm just like, especially like when someone's like,
Boom, 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 boom,
but
boom, boom, boom.
But I guess I can say at least you're saying they do that to themselves. You're not just out here
shooting them
without
I ain't killing with no pussy.
Like you do get permission first, right?
Well, they're shooting themselves.
That's what I said. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to.
It's still
so
weird.
How does that like come up though as an end?
How does it come up in conversation like prior to or the actual ending?
No, I'm saying like the actual ending, like or like when you talk about it prior to something you like.
Okay, I'll do it this way.
That's a wonderful question.
It has happened. I have been told that she liked that, and then she did that. That's one woman, and another one now I do the Kurt Cobain joke. Like with me, I test the waters because I like to do a lot of freaky shit. So like I'm a choker, right? So if I'm dating a girl and we haven't had sex or whatever, then I'll put my hands on her neck at some point, either in a funny way or like whatever, to let her know like I do that. And I'll be very honest, like I'm a choker, so I'm gonna get you, if they're not used to it, I'm gonna warm you up to it. So I'm like, come here, and just grab her. And then, not for a second or two, but she knows it's going to come at some point during sex. So I do shit like that where they know it's coming. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just like, surprise, I do this. I'll make sure they're warmed up.
But I guess that's a good thing. But what if she's just totally against it? Like
I had a woman that told me I could not choke her.
Yeah, so how was that? Like, how did it end up?
It ended up with me feeling sexually constricted. And I just felt like, it wasn't as good, and I think it got to the point because I like a lot of shit. We just stopped kind of dealing with each other because the sex wasn't as fulfilling. But then, to her credit, and I'm gonna give credit, she started being like, all right, you can do this. Okay, well let's try that, and being more open. But I knew it was only to appease me.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I'm really sexually explorative. It was just like, I want to make you happy, but it felt fake. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't feel real, and it kind of turned me off. But I still applaud any woman that's going to step out of her comfort zone to try to please a man. That's gangster. It's super respectable. No negative thing to say. But when it's not genuine, it just kind of feels like, because I'm a nasty nigga. And usually I don't date women that aren't as nasty as me or aren't willing to, open to experiment. Yeah. Because I'll go, this ain't going to go, but we're wasting each other's time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how this is going to end.
If you don't like to be choked, your chances with you are slim.
Yeah, basically, I mean, like, look at this shit. Like, let me see. I didn't put it on the playlist.
But let me. What we looking at?
Yeah, right.
We can help him music. All right, we're good.
Yeah. No, I wasn't gonna sing it on the
like,
video.
what is it?
I had some.
But what's like nasty though? Because I feel like choking is kind of like.
Well,
stationary.
Okay, well,
right.
I like my ass.
Standard stuff.
don't know, but
I thought.
huh?
Ain't that fair?
Did we just do this last night?
Yeah, we did. I like that. I like girls.
He got on all the jitters last night because tonight he's like.
I like girls committing suicide. You know what I'm saying?
What is? Okay, well, yeah, that's
when they shoot
that's-
themselves.
okay,
I like
That is pretty.
I got a whole box in there. I will bring it out and put it on this table.
No,
We can
it's
go through
okay.
it. Okay, cool. I'm just saying. What?
I'm so shocked. I think.
Why are you shocked?
I mean, you really can't judge a book by its cover, you know? Like
By its cover.
What my cover say? What kind of cover I got?
I was just
No,
thinking the same
obviously,
thing.
that's metaphorical.
Not a freak. What you trying to say?
That's my cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been told that. I've been. Okay. That's cool. You know what? That means that my maturity, my personality, and my intellect are shining above my sexual problems. I'll take that. I didn't have women telling me I'll fuck you, but I wouldn't date you. Like, hey, what the fuck is that? So maybe I'm a dateable guy now.
So be clear, sexual prowess has always been considered a sign of brilliance, though, right? So
Fact.
great men have always been directly tied to, like, you know, I don't know. We just
It's called
motherfuckers.
sexual transmutation, and any man that's like considered to be virile or like sexually exploitative or dominant or really craves sex, they take that same craving and they transmute it into business success. So you might turn around and be a good athlete, or you may have like out of nowhere one of the most popular podcasts in North America that stays on the charts. You never know what could happen, you know, when you have that sexual transmutation. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you go to Harvard University. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you become a rapper from DC that blow up and move to Atlanta. Like, we don't know what could happen. But it's a thing called sex transmutation. Just, you know.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Something new every day.
If you're around us.
How about we
get into a topic?
Topics.
Okay, I think we said all that to say. Last night was fun.
I'm glad. It seems that way.
It was fun for everybody except Deontay Wilder.
Oh,
Now, Deontay Wilder, who is Brittany's elementary school playboy friend,
Who does this?
was in a fight yesterday with Tyson Fury,
What?
who Deondra dated.
You remember
in the
this, right?
late 90s. What? It's true. She did. I remember.
You remember him doing this, right? Last time, like associating everybody with.
Oh, your turn coming up next year. You know
I know it is, nigga.
Tyson Fury beat the shit out of Deontay Wilder.
Yep.
I'll say this: once he hit him in the ear and bust his eardrum or whatever, and we were able to physically see that he lost his bearings, his equilibrium, he was tripping over himself. I made the comment, he won't make it to the 8th round. Not like this. And indeed, it stopped in the 7th. The internet went crazy with memes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
For a very specific reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you dated Tyson Fury. How did you feel about him licking the blood off of Deontay Wilder's neck?
Gosh.
Well, you know, I wasn't really surprised
Because you know him.
Because he whipped the side hurt.
No, I think he did something. I was bleeding. He was like,
Let me stop
30 days a week, 30 days a month. I don't get that.
No.
He's not the type of man to be like, I don't mind, don't catch him on my though. He looked like the type.
That
He looked
was
like the type.
very disgusting.
JB made that line up. I just read my lines.
No, I
It's a
did
teleprompter. I just read my lines.
It's not.
Yeah, I was shocked and just disgusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was everybody's reaction.
So, for those of you who are living under a rock, at a point during the fight, Fury and Wilder were basically clenched up after a flurry of punches, and Fury started like making these weird like licking out his tongue at Wilder's neck, like he was licking the blood off of Wilder's neck. And it was so fucking nasty. Like, it was back to like the Tyson Holyfield nasty.
No, it's way worse than that.
It
That
was
was
just
licking.
Maybe he
Well, I mean, biting the man's ear off is pretty fucking
No,
awful.
he was like
That's
licking and
nasty,
going like
though.
this with his
Yes,
tongue
like
out.
his tongue was
Like
he
his
treated his
tongue
neck like a
was
big ass
like
clip.
a snake.
It was was awful. It was
Like,
awful.
you know?
It was awful.
He was rolling his tongue?
Yes, wasn't he? Like
He
his
was
tongue
going like
was
this.
going like
It was
this.
They call him
I've never
Gypsy.
seen so many black people make this face at the same time.
If we could have fight for it last night, everybody was like, so was like, ah! The whole room jerked back, dude.
I honestly looked around like I have to be tripping. Like
Yeah.
like
You couldn't even believe it.
I really couldn't believe it. That was terrible. Like
Yeah, beat a nigga's ass and then.
But I guess he was saying he wanted to taste his blood before, and so I guess he did it.
That's that.
Have you ever told a woman you wanted to taste her blood?
Never. I don't think I
Man?
will. I don't think I'll ever use those words like in a.
What about if you was in a
continuous
placenta?
Really?
I'm just
really.
it's nutrients, right?
Yeah, I mean, but you're using that for a segue. Okay, yeah, that's awful. No, none of the above. I mean, it's just nasty on a million different levels, yeah. Like it's just.
I'll say
I don't
this.
know. White people are special. That's just like white people are special. That's all I gotta say.
I think Deontay Wilder's gonna come back. I think it'll be a third fight. I think he will win. That's my hot take. He will win the third fight. Anybody want to disagree? We can bet some potential on it.
What?
What y'all gonna do? What you gonna do?
This thing.
All right, well, moving
Show
on.
us go. Way left.
I'm gonna fix it because we gotta get serious right now. So I'll fix it. We won't be this far over here, and we won't be this serious going forward. But we do have to be serious as of right now.
Okay.
I do want to talk about the passing of one of our. I'm gonna say how I'm saying, one of our babies, one of our kids, one of our children, one of our artists, one of our celebrated black people in the culture of hip hop, Pop Smoke, who was 20 years old when he was murdered during a home invasion. I want to first and foremost say rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Our positive energy, prayers, and condolences goes out to your family, your friends, and your fans. I don't want it to get desensitized. I don't want us to go, well, okay, we lost Nipsey, we lost him, we lost Pop Smoke, and moving on. I don't want to do that because if we start getting where it's normal and where it's just like, whatever, it's just another one, then that's a dangerous space to be in. We need to really give this the brevity and the intensity that it deserves. Another artist who wasn't in the street currently, that was in Beverly Hills in his home chilling, was murdered. This wasn't, he wasn't gangbanging in Beverly Hills. Like, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's hurtful. And it's a fucking shame because I just got into his music like a month ago when his album dropped. I had heard a couple songs before, but I wasn't really checking for him. And then when the album dropped, Billions my barber. I went to the barber shop like, hey nigga, like he's my man. And we was listening to it like he bringing New York back, with Griselda. And we was doing all that shit and all laughing about it. And I went back the next week and he was like, hey, I got a new artist for you. I was like, who? He was like, Pop Smoke. Like, nigga, I just told you about him last week. How you gonna tell me about the same artist a whole week later? But at any rate, we've been talking about him a lot, and looking, celebrating, looking forward to what he's gonna do in the future, and then killed.
On some stupid shit too. Some masks, armed gunmen ran up in the house. They don't know. I mean, it wasn't technically his house, but he was basically resident there. Like it was basically a house that he was renting from somebody he knew.
Yeah.
They ran up in the house and basically came in and bust off. Like came in shooting, shot up the place and then left. Like didn't even really take anything. So it doesn't even really look like a robbery. They don't even really know what the fuck really happened, which is crazy. And it's fucked up because he wasn't involved in no dumb, you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't involved in no dumb shit. So what the fuck was this? And there are conspiracy theorists all over social media, but it's just a tragedy at the end of the day, dog.
Well, and to add fuel to the fire, did y'all see like the picture going around or the screenshot, I guess, of the guy who claims that he gave the address?
I believe that to be fake.
It probably is, but I'm just saying.
I did see it.
People are just really acting ignorant.
They're clout chasing at it's unprecedented, but like people are just making posts like, yeah, I gave the address, I had to do what I had to do, I didn't know they was gonna do that, and didn't even know Pop Smoke. Just some random nigga on Instagram who needs some likes. And then everybody, the Instagram investigators, the investigative police team of Instagram has all Black Twitter has all decided that it was his best friend that set him up.
Yeah.
And this man, and everybody came to his best friend's defense, the people that know them. People that's in that Crip gang in Woo, and they were like he Woo, like y'all tripping. That's my man. That was his best friend. Like y'all just randomly just throwing out shit and with no regard for fucking proper procedure. You just and it's fucked up. I was talking to JB about it earlier. And I'm like, it's like I wind up dead and everybody blame JB.
Yeah,
like,
that
would
like, really
how does that
piss me
feel?
off. Yeah.
Like you already mourning because I'm such a great person
no
and you don't know how your life is gonna move on because I'm gone and you just stuck in a space that you may never get out of because I'm no longer here. That's already bad. But then they say you don't want to kill me.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But
because you're the best.
It ain't got nothing to do with him being the best. It's just him being my brother, and it's just that. I mean, that's what makes it so fucked up. The whole tragedy behind the thing. Ironically, though, that happens a lot in murder cases where they can't really find somebody behind what's going on. They immediately look to the closest friends and family first. You know, then they put that pressure on them. It's fucked up, but it's police procedure. That's a whole nother topic for a whole.
This is Instagram procedure. This is just random fans. This ain't the police. These are fans.
But did y'all see where apparently he had posted a picture? It was posted somewhere that he had posted a picture, and in the picture was the address that he was renting.
The accident.
Yeah. So some people are also saying it could have been somebody that just wanted to go after him. Like it may not have been someone close to him or someone, because I know it's like, well, how would anybody know he was at that address? It had to be somebody close to him. And then when the picture came out about him showing his address, like not too long before.
Yeah, the same day, a few hours before. So that was that was what I thought happened. Yeah. And then everybody, all my boys on Twitter and Facebook was like, nah, it was his man that set him up. And I'm like, well, I don't know, but if he put his address on Instagram, he received a package from some high-end designer, and he was showing off the package. But ironically, the package had the address tag, and it was so close you could actually read it.
Yep.
So I was like, shit.
I mean, I read it in the shot. Yeah.
Hold on, wait a minute, Deiondra, you're not gonna sit here and be all quiet. What are your thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts is honestly nobody knows what happened.
Facts.
So it's sad what happened, but I do know LA is very dangerous. So I mean, regardless of who you are, LA is just a dangerous place. Like I don't even like wearing my jury out there. Like
wow,
it's just really dangerous. I know a lot of people that done got robbed in houses out there. They just don't make it to the media. So like we'll never really know what happened or whatnot, but it is a sad situation for someone that was about to come up in the game.
That's real.
Yeah. Somebody made a post and was like, LA is now the new Bermuda Triangle. It was like people are just disappearing in LA. Like people are just dying in LA. And I was like, damn, they mentioned Nipsey and like Biggie. They mentioned a lot of people. I can't think of everybody they mentioned. People going to LA and just not making it back. And I was like, shit. Damn. But rest in peace to Pop Smoke. Shout out to his family, his friends, and download his album. Let's make his family rich so they can, it won't necessarily help with the grieving process, but at least let's show him some real love and get his music out there. We can hear his voice forever. And, we should. It's city outside. Okay, we had another loss. Actress, model, restaurateur, entrepreneur, B. Smith, who we all know has been suffering from Alzheimer's the last few years, ultimately succumbed to that disease, and she passed today. So rest in peace to B. Smith. I am not really in the know of her career. I know she was a model. I know she was a restaurateur. I know she was an entrepreneur. That is what I know. Do you guys know anything about B. Smith that we can add?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, she was an elder black woman. She one of our queens, one of our mothers, one of our elders, and we lost her today. Rest in peace, and love and light and positive energy to your family, your friends, and everybody who was affected by your life. And I was gonna mention something else, but I'm not going to do that. Rest in peace. Let's see. My left stroke just went viral.
Hey.
Our viral story of the week is my baby mama.
I don't know about all that. See, here's another bullshit relationship. That's what I'm gonna start calling these from now on. I'm just gonna say to y'all, bullshit relationship when New does this.
We don't need no hateration in this dance room.
It's not no hateration, nigga. It's facts, nigga.
So anyway, my baby mama, Erykah Badu,
relationship.
It happened to open up her Badu store online.
Yes.
And it opened on February 20th.
Yes.
2020.
Right.
At 2:20 p.m. 2:22 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I logged on at 2:22 p.m. I tried, at least. And my item that I want, because I'm all about support. I don't have any selfish methods in this. It's just a support.
Bullshit.
Wow.
Bullshit.
Wow.
What?
I am just trying to support Miss
You know you
Badu.
smell that Badu Box, nigga. Come on.
So I went on and I looked at all the many different products. I was like, what should I buy? What should I do? How can I help her?
The incense.
So you didn't know exactly what you wanted to
No,
buy.
I had no idea what was even on the site. I just
He's
logged
like,
on.
I wonder when her pussy
He
smells.
wasn't looking for a
You
hoodie.
just woke up that day like, you know what?
Right.
Maybe no.
Right.
What?
Right.
No.
Okay,
That's not how this happened at all.
fact check, y'all. She sold t-shirts, hoodies, other apparel, other merchandise.
I couldn't get
What
to
do you
those
think-
pages.
What do you think
I
he
didn't
was
even know
looking
that.
for?
Only
What
one
do you
page
think?
came
Right.
up.
Most
I'm not
people
gonna
didn't.
lie, I did
Most
not
people
know.
Only one page worked on my phone because my phone this like the 8 and it don't work all the time. So the only page that came up was these incense, and I was like, well, since this is the only page I can access, I'll buy the incense. Little did I know they were going to be sold out, and I wouldn't be able to buy the incense.
In like 30 seconds.
And I just found out about 20 minutes ago that these incense actually smelled like her vagina. I had no idea when I was on the website at all, you know. But I found out
You
today.
didn't know.
Oh no, I had no idea.
Wow.
What? I thought it was just incense, black woman, power to people, queen.
Fact
pussy.
check.
Right.
Last week we talked about
You're
how
dangerous.
she actually burned up pieces
Boy, you
of
be
her
lying like
panties
that, boy.
to create part of the aromatic essence for the incense. And the mayor knew very well that the incense smelled like her pussy.
He was posting about it. He posted about it for like at
Fact.
least a couple of days.
Fact check.
How excited
Fact
he was.
check.
He could not wait.
What does the
Order
defendant have to
incense.
say now?
He knew the day, the time, the hour. You would have thought. But he really did. And then after it sold out in 19 minutes.
Order in the court.
I refuse to
He
continue
went
this conversation.
back on social media
Oh,
to
no.
talk about how upset he was that he wasn't able to order these.
I'm not
I
gonna
love
lie.
it. I love it.
Caught.
I think I would buy one just to see what it smelled like, but I don't think I would want my house smelling like pussy.
Yeah, like where would you burn? Like you,
Where would you burn it at?
where?
I would burn.
Everywhere.
I burn it in here.
Right.
Living room, bathroom, bedroom. I date a lot of bisexual women, not a lot at one time. Not saying that, but women that I date tend to, they would enjoy the fragrance as well. And we all know about the mythical box that is known as Badu, right? We all know like we used to talk about celebrities, whatever, but we all know that when she had comment in a lime green fishnet wife beater, I want some pussy like that. I bet she lick your ass. I bet she shoot herself. Kurt Cobain. I bet she Kurt Cobain, right? I can't say that, right?
Oh, man.
All right. Okay. So.
That wasn't what you expected, was it?
So. Well. So you would like to smell it.
Yes.
Pheromone.
James Brown Frank. What you think?
I would love to smell it. I'm not paying $2.50 per incense stick though, just to smell like.
She said it's really made from her underwear.
Okay, that's disgusting. That's weird and
it's disgusting.
I
can't think of anything more beautiful.
I don't need burnt.
It's like a rose that grew from concrete.
Give me some myrrh and some frankincense, nigga. I don't need burnt panties.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait till I'm done enough to make money.
Burning up your panties.
I'm shooting for 18 minutes and 30 seconds, not 90.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Get your ebook. Get your ebook or hard copy. While you're at it, the Brittani incense.
Oh, she got a name for it and everything. You thought about this.
Yes.
She's thought about
Wait
it.
till I come out with my ebook or my book.
You need to put that out.
Yeah, I'm coming out with both at the same time. Bet you never thought about that.
You need some male critics, you know. Some people.
Yeah, we're gonna have to review it on the show.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
It's just be that joke like the dude on the
Yeah. So this nigga found a video. This motherfucker like just chopping down
on the instant.
On the
The
instant.
Erykah Badu instant.
Yes, but you really
ain't that
thought he was
motherfucker
gonna
like
make a review. That was so funny. I was waiting for him to look for the lighter.
Okay.
Right.
I'm telling you, he's got to be sick after that.
It looked like the
feel
nigga
like
ate the
he
incense
must have
like a pixie stick.
faked
Like he just
something.
like.
I can't believe you
He
really
has
did
to.
it. It had to be some kind of a camera trick. I don't know what it would be,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking something.
That or like a
No
fake
way.
chocolate incense.
Y'all making me hot talking about this Erykah Badu box.
Oh, you mean the one that you had no idea?
No,
I just found out just now. That's what I'm getting at.
It's okay.
I'm at the fire next lifetime. Maybe next night. Oh, okay. Here's a funny. Here's a fun fact. I love Erykah because she's a 5%er. I'm a 5%er. If you don't know what 5%er is, I don't have time to explain it. But it is a sect of Islam. We believe that we are the physical manifestation of God. You can find people like me, Erykah Badu, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, Nas, everybody in Wu-Tang, Lord Jamar, Carmelo Anthony. It's a small fraternity, all we ask is trust. But anyway, Westside Gun, all we ask is trust. But she's a 5%er. And as a 5%er man, you never meet a 5% woman. Like, ever. Especially not one that's Erykah Badu.
Right.
So I've always had like a little crush on her. And in her song, next, like, if y'all heard her song, On and On and On and On, and she said, went to the store with $3 and 6 dimes. That's 360, which is the circumference, the circle, the perfect circle. And that's what we studied. We call it 360. And she said, some do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. She's talking about that. She did a lot of little
I never knew that.
smidges of our culture in the song. And Jay-Z does it all the time too. You'll hear it, but if you're not listening, if you don't know what to listen for, you're not going to get it.
Right.
But whenever you hear somebody say, peace, son, what's up, son? And it's not son like my son, it's son like sun in the sky. In our nation, we refer to black men as the son. So Jay-Z's son, like they son. And so niggas, that's New York slang. That's 5% of slang, but most of them are in New York. Niggas. So anyway, I love Erykah. I'm gonna get my goddamn incense. I'm gonna get my incense. We're gonna figure it out. Well, I'm just gonna have to smell it on person. Either way.
Well, hopefully she comes out with more incense.
Hold on. Well, hopefully she invites me to. Never mind. I don't think lime green fishnet wife beaters would look good on me. So maybe I don't need to test that, right? Maybe I don't. All right. But exactly anything y'all wanted to add?
No, I think you got it.
You summed it up. Summed it up.
They sit there like, yeah, this conversation about another woman's pussy was way too long.
Oh, but we had a whole moment of the Brittani.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you
So,
add some special elements to the you have
To be determined. We're gonna
a
throw
fragrance
TBD
platform
on
in mind? Okay.
TBD.
I dated a woman who used to touch herself and do it on that. And you wouldn't necessarily be able to, like, I smell pussy. But it would, our instinctual, whatever, I would always be horny around it. Like, I'm like, God damn, and one day she told me, I was like, that's That's why I be getting that all the time. Okay, but so our what the fuck story of the week. Wendy,
that wasn't it.
Wendy Williams, JB's high school prom date.
Bullshit.
So after all this, how many proms have you had, man?
Right.
You done took a lot of women.
Every woman over 50 is my prom date, apparently.
Jesus.
Bullshit. Anyway.
So JB and Wendy went to prom together, and after they broke up, she just got a radio, and she asked about doing a daytime talk show. And on this talk show this week, she got into a little bit of trouble. And it's our what the fuck story of the week because I'm not quite sure why she got in trouble. Maybe you ladies can help me out. She said that I guess she was talking about something going down with the women, and the gay man was like, "That's right," and she was like, "Wait a minute, you don't know about that, and you won't know what it's like to be a woman. Like don't get it twisted, stay in your lane." And I looked on your page. You tore her up. I was on your page. Oh man, I didn't do it, but anyway. So people were mad about this, and I was like, "Well, what the fuck did she say? Maybe it was rude, but like it's kind of true. He's not gonna be a woman." So I was like, "Well, everybody's mad about it. I'm not gonna do too much commenting because they're so mad. But why they mad? Why was they mad? He's not a woman, right?"
I mean, I feel like it kind of depends on what her intention was, like what she meant by that, because she could have very well meant like you'll never have a period, you'll never be able to give birth, like you'll never know what it's like. It may be in that aspect, which is true. So I don't know what her intention was, so I can't really have an opinion on it because that literally could have been like, what she meant.
She'll be like a real woman.
Right.
She'll never be like a real woman.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think so, right?
Yeah,
I agree.
That's the way I read the comment.
But isn't that true?
Right.
Like now, if this was a transgender woman, or somebody transitioning, I would be a little more politically correct. I still feel the same way, but I would be more like, okay, well, you are transitioning. I'm not going to go there. But from what I gather, it was just a gay man.
Yeah, a gay man is still a man, young.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about right now? Why? Right.
So before we get in trouble, ladies, your
thoughts.
Yes.
Not to get y'all in trouble, but women seem to handle these conversations a lot better and a lot smoother. Even though Wendy fumbled over this shit, she's probably thinking about JB and that whole breakup and just started shit. But what do you guys think about the comment?
Bullshit.
That's all I'm gonna say.
And how do we move? Like, how does she move on with
Well, I've learned that you can't always state your opinion.
Interesting.
In this world.
Mention this is personal experience.
Yeah.
So listen carefully. She knows.
With Wendy, however, even though I do agree with her, I don't think that she should have said it, because sometimes you have to be more sensitive to how someone feels. Like, even though it's a gay man, like, he wants to be a woman, so you gotta kind of look at it as, well, that's something he's trying to become. Even though my beliefs are different, I never have any judgment, but you gotta look at it as if like let's say you have this football player, you're telling them you'll never be a football player. So it's kind of like you're putting them down in a way.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of look at it like that. So I guess that's how everybody else will look at it. So even though that's her opinion, and I do agree with it, I don't think that's something that I would have said out in the open, because I've learned that you just can't always state your opinion in situations like that, especially the large platform that she has. Mm-hmm. So you always want to be sensitive to someone's feelings.
I would agree with that. And I get it from that angle. I don't think she was wrong, but I do get it. And I'm learning to be more politically correct. I don't want to water myself down too damn much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say. But my goal is never to hurt nobody.
Yeah,
so
that's
in
right.
me saying what I want to say, if I think it's going to hurt you, and I'm in my right mind, I'm not going to say it. Because I just don't, I don't get nothing from hurting you. I can explain it to you in a way, or say it in a way where it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what I feel.
Yeah.
Regina, what do you think?
Wow.
Well, I'll say that I absolutely agree with Deiondra, everything she said, and I'm pretty sure not just what she said, but how she said it probably made it even worse, because she was really kind of like, wait a minute, like so yeah, it was probably taken offensive.
Okay, and as we move on to our next what the fuck story of the week, I want to shout out everybody that said hi and everybody that said what's up, y'all. We weren't reading the comments because Deiondra was distracting everybody talking about placentas and shit. But we do want to say hi back. And we're talking to our live audience.
You didn't bring that up.
I did.
I didn't think you did.
We're talking to our live audience. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or watching this over on YouTube, you know we do a live on Facebook. So if you want to be part of the live, take your ass to Facebook, follow Upon Name Kickback, and that's how you do that. Our next what the fuck story of the week is this is a tricky one because both Deiondra and Brittany dated him at the same time and didn't know.
Wow.
Boosie Badass is back in the news. They didn't know. They didn't know the distance. They just didn't know. So Boosie Badass.
I don't think he'll play around with that one.
Okay, I really don't know. Okay. We don't know. I'm just joking. I'm just playing. So anyway.
I never dated Boosie. So be clear.
For the record, I've never dated Boosie either. For the record. No, for the record.
For the record.
Yeah! Why you do that? Move on.
Does that count?
No, move on.
No, I just wanted to be clear for anybody who's watching and might try to put two and two together, like, no, I didn't. Okay?
She made that abundantly clear.
No one did.
No one did. And especially not me. It was not me.
But me either.
So, anyway, Boosie.
Yeah! We can remember. This is awesome! This is gold! This is podcast gold! Yes! I love it.
Y'all gonna get off Boosie.
Hurry up, yeah. Totally unexpected! Totally unexpected!
I promise that was not my intention.
Yeah.
This happens because kickback, man.
Well, is this podcast live? Oh shit! I was saying we're gonna edit this whole segment out. Okay, we can't edit out. It's live. So anyway, my little cousin Boosie.
We cannot.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So my little cousin Boosie got on social media to address Dwayne Wade and his, I guess the way that he's choosing to raise his transgender daughter. So of course he had a son. The name was Zaire, I believe. He let his father know, Dwayne Wade, that he's really a girl, and they're in the process of transitioning. Am I saying this bad?
No.
Okay. Then he's with my Boosie.
And I was trying to snicker like shit off of it.
I promise you that wasn't my intention, but no, we gonna just.
It happened though.
So happening. Moving on.
I was never.
Moving on. So
You were saying it right though.
okay, yeah. So his transgender daughter and Boosie was saying basically he was making a plea.
No, I'm laughing.
Stop it.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking about the video in my head.
Like, y'all saw that video.
Like, don't cut his dick off, dog.
No.
Dick on D-Wade.
The reason why I'm laughing because I actually agree with Boosie.
You're going too far.
We did too.
No,
Right.
but until someone told me that they never said he was gonna cut his dick off. That was the part, bro. So they're like, where did Boosie get that
in Boosie's defense, and when you're transitioning, that is part of the transition. I believe that, I don't know what the law says, so I don't think they're going to do that anytime soon. I think she would need to be older, but that is a part of the process. And I think Boosie just assumed what they was about to do next week.
Right, like nobody even spoke about that part. Like he just wants to, identify as a woman or whatever.
No, the video is just, the whole thing is that I don't even think he said he just wants to transition yet.
I don't think so.
The whole thing is he just said he wants to be known as a woman now.
Yeah.
Call him Zaya.
Zaya or Zaya.
Yeah, that's
Zaya
it. So when someone was like, that never came out, I was like, why did he take it that far then?
That was
because Boosie looking in the future.
I do agree.
Boostradamus, he looking in the future.
But I do agree with Boosie. But I do agree with him.
I agree with Boosie. I've been arguing. I lost some women on Facebook, along with my friends. The threesome gone down the drain. Well, anyway, so it's like people are angry about your responses to this shit, and they were it is a girl, and they trying to cancel Boosie, and I'm like, you can't cancel Wipe Me Down. The coppers ain't having that. You're stuck with Boosie, baby. Sorry, you can't get rid of Boosie.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of how you take it, or regardless of what my opinion is, I just feel like when it comes to people raising someone, or even with Zaya wanting to be Zaya, his mind might change, before he gets older, before he transitions. But I think that it was kind of a lesson that for more parents to support their kids. Because do you see, I'm sorry, all of the jokes and everything like kind of already coming out about Zaya, and it's like, could you imagine Zaya deciding to come out as Zaya without the support of her parents, and now you're getting flack from media and at home too. So I think it's really important for parents to support their child, because they're going to be the way that they are in that aspect, regardless of how you feel. So I just really respect Dwayne and Gabrielle, and his brother, like his siblings, for being supportive of that, because I don't feel like that happens, especially not in the black households, enough.
But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I really, never mind.
I mean, regardless of opinion, I just, for Boosie, it's like,
y'all think Dwayne really support that?
Well, as long as Zaya thinks that he does.
The commentary on social media, actually.
Really, really support that.
Right.
He probably feels like he doesn't have a choice.
That's what I'm saying.
What, Dwayne Wade?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he may not support or would prefer his son to be gay, but it's like, this is what we're dealing with, so I might as well still love her the same.
I would love my child. I would ride just as hard as D Wade is. But I think my only issue is Howard is 12 years old. Because we've had several cases of 12-year-olds, whether it's the kid that was wrestling with his sister and accidentally killed her, and then got charged with manslaughter and went to jail, but they were kids wrestling. He was just a child at that point. No, he was an adult at that point, because he can go to maximum security prison. Then you have the girls dealing with R. Kelly. They're just children, need to be protected. And then you have Zaya, who can change his whole gender, but he's old enough. And it's like 12-year-olds can't drink, they can't vote, they can't drive, they can't be left in the house alone for a certain amount of hours. So I'm leery of the amount of power we give a 12-year-old. I know when I was 12, there was a lot of things I wanted to do that I wasn't allowed to do, and it wasn't nothing as major as changing my gender. I'm in support of anybody being who they truly are. I'm gonna be who I am unapologetically, and I'm not gonna bite my tongue. I'm gonna be me. And I'm going to do what I do, and it's going to be what it is. And I'm going to take any consequence that comes with that. But I don't know if I'm making that decision at 12. I don't know if I should have been given the right to make that decision. And that's my only issue.
I think who you are and what you do are two different things. So like when you're saying, you shouldn't be at home, that's because of certain decisions that you may make. You may not be, you probably would do something just because your mama told you not to, because that's just how kids are. But I feel like who you are has a lot to do with people identifying with different genders, or doing how they, loving how they feel, doing whatever they want to try to fit how they feel, right? Because why does a transgender man want to become a woman? he feels like a woman. So now, as much as possible, he wants to look how he feels. So I think it's a little bit different from a 12-year-old saying, "Hey, I wake up every day feeling like a woman," versus, "Hey, mom, dad, can I go do this?" Like, that's different in my eyes.
That was good. Give me a second to think of something to say, then I'm gonna come back and we just win this argument. JB, help me out.
Children's feelings and inclinations. They come.
He might be in the harvest over you.
Okay.
They tend to come and go, but I feel like, especially in those puberty ages, you need to understand and establish a baseline. And part of, I think, what happened with D Wade's kid is because what we've known is this has been going on for years. Like, this identity crisis has been happening for years, and that's okay. Like, to be perfectly frank, I don't know how I would respond to that situation because I've never dealt with it. However, I do know that gender identity is something that is established in the home and by the parents first. I don't remember knowing when I was a boy because there was never a question in my mind what I was, right? And there was never a question because it was something that was basically told to me by my parents. It was something that I grew up with. And it was something that I think all of us grew up with, right? I'm not.
Yeah. You're saying exactly what I said last week.
Yeah.
That's really cool to me.
Well, I also said this on Facebook in one of our Facebook chats. I was like, because he was saying like gender identity questions were something that existed for his child at the age of 3, and I'm like, what? How could that even be possible? My kids knew what they were because basically I told them. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that naturally occurs to them. So how could it occur to them to think outside of that unless those questions are inserted? You know what I'm saying?
Influences.
Influences. I get that, but I don't get it. It's almost like there's a rule, but there's exceptions to every rule. So
of course.
Your parents telling you that you're a boy or whatever, when you started feeling like, well, I am a man, it all makes sense to you. But when you're told you're a boy and all of a sudden you feel like, well, I identify more with mom and how I feel than I do with dad. Now it's like, well, I know I'm a boy. That's when the questions start going. Well, I've been told I'm a boy. I'm supposed to be a boy, but I don't feel like a boy.
But the male and the female body is physically different.
Thank you.
So it has nothing to do with what you've been told.
Well, okay, but so where I came from was I was told this because of what I could see and because what I was shown. I wasn't like, hey, little nigga, you got a dick, so you're a boy. Like, it was really just that simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't become much deeper than that until it became much deeper than that as I grew older and I was taught to be a man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it starts with that. So I kind of go back to 3 years old for D Wade because that's where he says it started for him and his son. And I'm like, at 3? Like, you're not getting into questions of manhood or honor or,
but when you start wanting pink or wearing a tutu or something like that, that's when the question comes in. And that's why I was speaking about questioning.
That's almost sexist.
But I mean, people would be like, no, you know, boys like these. No, that's a girl toy.
Right.
Boys do this. Like, that's stuff that you say and
do we still say that in
they pick up on it.
Do we still say that in 2020? That's a girl toy, that's a boy toy?
I didn't.
I think we stopped saying that. I think the woke, whatever the fuck you want to call them, the people that are sensitive to the world and all that shit, I don't think we do that no more. Yeah. So I think that D-Wade Child, and I think D-Wade Child could have wanted a tutu or wanted a pink toy and it would have been acceptable because it's 2020. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think I saw something.
That's like that celebrity woman that's raising her boys as girls.
fuck.
Let me see,
I know you're talking about. It ain't Angelina Jolie. It's the other one. God damn it. She's married to another celebrity dude. It's not Brittani Angelina. I think she's married to JB. I can't remember. Nicole Kidman or somebody.
It's kind of weird though.
It's like Nicole Kidman or somebody. One of them.
This one of them white ladies.
Blonde, redhead jokes. The JB like.
I probably do like him.
What's her name?
Red.
I don't know.
Charlize? Oh man, I
I
like her.
Charlize Theron.
I like her. It's her doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a boy.
Yeah, but she has another one too, I think, because it's another one I saw today with two of them. This is her adopted son.
I fucked with her from the Wilson movie when he was a superhero. Hancock. And that's I fuck with her in that job. Oh, I don't fuck with her no more. She adopted these black kids and changing their genders and shit. This shit weird to me.
What?
Yeah, she is.
And let me say it this way, because I'm going to be very sensitive, because
that's very different though. Like that's very separate.
Yeah.
Is she black?
So I don't want to compare apples to oranges to make a point, because the D-Wade situation is very different from this one.
Yeah, it is.
Thank
but it's still
weird.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're like trying to force your child to be something, that's totally different than your child coming to you and being like, "Daddy, I feel like a girl." That's very different.
Yeah. And for the record, I think the child is too young, but I applaud Dwayne, Gabrielle, and the actual birth mother who's kind of drifting into oblivion through all of this. I support them and like the brothers and sisters, like you said, for supporting Zaya. And I'll support Zaya by saying Zaya instead of Zaire and saying she instead of he. But I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of fake doing that because I think that's he to me. But I don't want to be disrespectful and I want to be supportive, so I'll say she. But if you put me on lie detector test, I'm like, that's a boy.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have
because
to.
as of right now,
he is.
It'll always be to me.
But he just likes to be called a girl.
Yeah, but it'll always be that way to me because this is how I looked at it. Like, okay, how do you feel about transgender? Like, how, do we accept it? Do we this? Do we that? What do we think? Is it our business? What's going on? And then I was like, if I really believe it, then I could have sex with a transgender woman. I could date a transgender woman if I really believe that's a woman. And I had to talk to myself and I was like, I don't believe it. I don't. I will support.
It's none of your business.
It's none of my business.
What?
No, it's just a joke because last night,
it's none of your business.
Last night at the show, and people on Twitter and Facebook been saying this. Whenever you make a comment about Zaya, it's not your business what they do. I'm like, bitch, you keep telling me about it. Dwayne Wade do a press conference every other day with updates on Zaya. It is my fucking business now. If you gonna tell me, give me an update every day. If it ain't my business, keep it in your goddamn house. I didn't ask to know about you. I didn't interview him. So what's going on with your son? Like, dick or not? It is none of my business until you tell me every day. And once you tell me every day, then it's everybody's business.
Yeah. But I think you can voice an opinion without attacking someone. One. And two, you don't have to accept it to respect it.
Yes.
So there are certain things that I may not accept or have to accept it or believe it. But I can respect it, just like we should respect everyone's opinion. Just like even though we all don't think the same, I'm like, well, that's how you feel about it.
Right. And like I said, I'm going to call her Zaya, and I'm happy.
That's very big of you. I like that.
But it's just, what else am I do?
Right.
It ain't about me.
Right. But some people are like that though.
But you know what I really learned? And I don't want to say too long on this, but I had a job where there was a transgender woman at my job. And at first she would come around, and, because I was new. So they would be like, hey, you like the job so far, this, and I'm like, and I would always interact like it was a dude. I'd be like, what's up, young? Shit, chilling. Nah, it's cool. And what you doing, man? All right, bet you want some game? All right, bet. And then people be like, dog, you gotta stop. And I'm like, as a nigga, what you want me to say? Like, you gotta stop. You talking like you talking about.
But that's crazy because, I mean, she's still watching sports and kicking shit, so that's cool.
Right, but I was always, and I'm a big flirt, so, when I talk to ladies, I'm always, not anymore, me too. I don't do any of this anymore. Well, when I'm flirty, hey, how you doing, girl? And I would never act that way with her. Mm-hmm. And we were in a meeting, so everybody knew the difference, and they would tease me about all the time. We were in a meeting, and I had to refer to her in one of her statements. Oh. And I was like, that's nigga. And at that moment, I was like, I'm not going to make this person feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Like, fuck how I feel, fuck what I think. And I was like, well, she stated the obvious because when we did it, and everybody was like,
oh, yeah.
But I was like, if I say what I think, it's going to make them feel a way. Like, why the fuck do I want them to feel any way?
Yeah.
You at work trying to do your job. Now, you got me fucking with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's when the light bulb went off. And I was like, it ain't about me, dog. Fuck what I think. It's about that person. Don't make that person feel fucked up because of your fucking shit. And that's where the light bulb clicked for me.
I agree.
But it hasn't clicked for JB, and maybe you guys can help JB.
Wow. Really?
The lights was on me, JB. They was both looking at me like, what you gotta say, nigga? What you do? Oh, shit.
So he was like, here's JB. Slide him right up under that bus. Deflect. Kick his ass right into the street. Thank you for that. This is all good.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add?
I don't.
No.
Okay. Our Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award. So we give out a Shut Up Stupid Award every week for somebody who says something that's stupid, and it's named after your president, Donald Trump. So, the Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid. I'm just saying. I saw the playing. So, Donald Trump, I'm playing.
Are you a Donald Trump?
No, she's not. I'm playing. Moving on. So the Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award goes to JB's old frat buddy.
Wow.
Former mayor.
Bullshit.
Mike Bloomberg. What is Gloom? Can you stop playing with the dog while we do the podcast? Sorry. Oh shit.
Dogs and shit in here.
Right, it's lit. So Mike Bloomberg he said a few things about minorities. He said a few things about the. Can you break down what he said about the real estate industry and how that, the redlining and all that shit?
Yeah, I'm gonna geek out for a second, y'all. Basically, what he said was that the real estate market caused a crash in the economy because, and he put it the wrong way, but basically he was saying that banks were lending money to poor people and broke people, and that fucked up the whole industry. He oversimplified it, and he tried to make it sound like it was broke people's fault for getting involved in the real estate market, when in reality what it was a variety of scam jobs. Like, we had ARMs, which are adjustable rate mortgages. We had what are called liar's loans, where you pay an extra point on your interest rate so you didn't have to declare any of your tax statements if you were an entrepreneur. So you could literally lie and say you were making $500,000 a year and pay an extra point on a $500,000 house to show no tax returns to show that you earn that much money, right? This is what was going on. Bloomberg elided over all of that and basically said, oh yeah, white men gave out money to poor people and that's why the economy crashed. And it was fucked up and stupid, right? He was trying to pander to that particular audience, but then he kind of doubled down on the dumb shit during this debate. Like, he was drab, he was boring, and none of what he said resonated with the Democratic audience.
He gave no real apology. He gave no real explanation. He just kind of tried to gloss over everything, including comments he's made about women. And it just...
He sounded like an old white man.
And he's a billionaire. He's buying off all the black mayors. I know a few mayors of cities you lived in have all subscribed to him now, and they're all backing him. Is that what you're going to? We'll talk about it. But it's just weird.
How big was your check from Bloomberg? I mean, everybody got a check from Bloomberg. You're supporting him, right? Fuck with you.
That was part of that predatory lending.
She's like, I cannot give out my Illuminati secrets right now. I'm going to shut up right now.
So the debate was, he lost. You knew the questions were coming, and you weren't prepared. You just kind of. Summer Frisk was the huge one. I mean, it wasn't. It wasn't the best. Nigga, you had a year to prepare for this. It's like. Ask me where I was at last night. But you jealous. I'm like, where was you last night?
Where was you at last night?
I was with JB. See how easy that was? Jamie?
We was chilling.
Bloomberg! Practice your lie. Not that I lie, and not that my boys lie for me. When I'm in a relationship, I am.
No.
Are you sure? Because you kind of lie like
really good.
Real good.
Whoa.
Very quick.
Me?
Yes, you're like on it.
What have I ever lied?
It's like.
It's just for the camera.
It's good.
It's
what
for the
about before we started recording when we were having that conversation?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Specific memory.
So,
Deiondra, you remember that? Did you catch it?
I already said it was dangerous because he was like tricking you.
Absolutely.
So The Photograph was a really good movie. It's all about love and trust. and trust. Okay. We'll move on from JB's frat brother Bloomberg. I will say this: don't let this Deontay Wilder Fury shit and this whole thing with D-Wade and his son and the whole thing with Boosie and Wendy Williams. Don't let none of this distract you from what's really going on.
Break it down, brother.
That's all I had to say. What's really going on? Bernie Sanders just won the Nevada caucus, and what's Nevada? It's Nevada caucus, and he's in the lead for the Democratic Party. So it's looking like Bernie has a really good chance of pulling this thing off. That's what you need to pay attention to. If you like Bernie, great for you. If you don't like Bernie, you need to pay attention to this. The primaries are coming up for this for the Democratic nominee, and you should probably vote.
Yeah, it's
coming soon. You should register now. Register now. When should they register? Now.
Oh, I'm like, you can register any. I thought you were asking me a real question because I'm like, you can do it at any point.
Yeah,
my bad.
You
Now.
Now. When should they register?
I'm not into it.
Ooh. Okay. JB, when should they register?
Now.
Okay. All right. So moving on.
Yeah.
And I want to make a point to that because a lot of the reason, even though Hillary won the popular vote and Trump still won the election, that was the first time since I believe the Gore and the Bush running, I guess you could call it. And a lot of the reason for Hillary, like the Democratic side, y'all need to realize that splitting votes or not voting because you feel like you don't like the person that's running, that's hurting us more than helping us. So you kind of have to pick the lesser of the evils and just vote in a way that someone can actually win. So if Bernie's leading, let's get behind Bernie, people.
I mean, does your vote really count? But I mean, that's a topic for another day.
No, you know what? Give us
we are the black CNN. So break it down.
Yeah, how do you feel about it for real?
I just don't think it counts.
To a degree, it doesn't count if it can hurt what their agenda is. That's true.
I think it's all pre-chosen. Their agenda is already pre-chosen.
I had an econ teacher that kind of broke down how our votes really don't count. But it's
based on the electoral college, which means the votes count a little bit. Yeah. So I think the thing is they count. They don't count as much as we think they count. Unless you go so far as to say this is a preordained system, this is the Illuminati, and it's already set up, and this is just a puppet show. You can feel that way. I didn't vote for Clinton, Bill Clinton. I'm old enough to have been able to vote for a long time. I was against voting for the lesser of two evils because the lesser of two evils is still evil. So I did the thing where I didn't vote until I was like in my 30s. Obama was my second time ever voting in my life, and I could have voted like 4 more times or some shit. But I voted for him because he was black and I wanted the country to change and all that shit. The first time I was like, oh, America. I'm 5%. I'm like, fuck America.
To give us one.
Yeah, they give us one. So I do not believe my vote counts as much as I wanted to, and I do not like any of the candidates. Any of them. I don't like nobody. I don't like Bernie. I don't like Trump. I don't like nobody. But I'm voting just as part of the process. It's not going to take me but a couple minutes. I'm just going to do it. Fuck it.
And I also feel like I know I vote, and I should vote more than I do, but I know I vote because for minorities, it's something that our ancestors or the people who came before us fought so hard for us to do. And so it's something that I want to continue to happen, because what will happen regardless of how we feel, it makes it easier for them to do certain things when we're not voting, because now they can start saying, well, minorities only vote such and such percentage of minorities and blah, 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 whatever else. So it's actually a lot bigger than just feeling like my vote doesn't count. Like, I think it means so much more, but anyway, that's a little bit on a deeper level, but.
Well, that's what we do. Brittani, that's what we do here.
Brittani. For me, voting is a citizen's exercise, and it's an important one because it affects actually what's going on locally more than it does federally.
Absolutely.
So, excuse me. I became practiced in voting from. I think the first time I voted was when I was like 20. And I voted every single time ever since, but it's been mainly for the local elections more so than the federal elections, because the local elections is where you really see an impact. You know, I was able to vote. I was able to participate in things like voting for free health care in Massachusetts, or voting for more gun control in Massachusetts. You know, those types of like groundbreaking legislation started on the local level. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we need to become practiced in voting, because believe it or not, it is actually the state senators, it is actually the state government who influences the vote of the electoral college. And you vote state senators by voting locally or voting often. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you need to become active in the political process, because it will affect your daily life on a local level, and then that will transcend to a federal level.
You said something there. That is true. That is true. It's more important for your local.
Sorry, I needed to.
Absolutely. We've been preaching that on this show since the Obama elections. Let's look how we got the moniker of Black CNN. It's voting locally. Like, voting locally is where change happens. The everyday change. Because people say, I don't care who's in office, Trump or Obama, my life gonna be the same. That's because of your local legislation, your local votes. So we've been proponents to that. We've been out there and we'll continue to do so. Very well said, James Brown Frank. All right, our Nipsey Hussle Award. And this is one Deiondra is so excited about. Our Nipsey Hussle Award goes to me and JB's hometown, DC, for making go-go music the official music of DC.
Right.
Legislatively, the official music of DC. Do y'all know what go-go is? Well, I know you from DMV. Oh, shit, yeah, you too. You from like your own? Yeah. Regina from this DMV? Do you know what go-go is?
Yes.
You do?
I like it better live, though.
Of course.
Then,
Of course.
you know,
I'm surprised.
That was an excellent thing to say. Yes. Live.
Yes. Beans on his best to make a nice go go.
I was like, what's going on? Then I started hearing something that sounded a little bit like a beat. I was like, oh, okay.
And you know what's funny to me?
He doesn't have Tourette's.
It's very
You know what's funny to me? The so-called origin of twerking through rap music is New Orleans, right? I'm like, we've been doing that in DC since I was like 4.
Oh my God.
Like twerking really, well, I can't say really,
it was
but I'll put it this way.
Back in
it was
the day.
called freaking. Girls,
Really back in the day, huh?
yeah, it was crazy. Like, where Essence made the song, Work the Walls. Work the Walls is a song that calls ladies to the floor to dance, but this is the unique thing about it. Men would stand with their back against the wall, and girls would, I guess what we call now, twerk on them, frontwards or backwards, and you would just stand on the wall. The song's called Work the Walls. So whenever you hear, and they hear Tarzan scream, oh,
Work
you
the
hear that
walls,
shit? You run to a wall.
Work the wall. Work the wall.
That's
hot dog in a bun and you just dance. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Hot dog in a bun.
I think they.
Just you know, sideways because it's just a bun. Because the girl butt.
I
got
think they
You put it in?
No, not literally in. But if a girl's butt is on you,
press it on the crack.
You have to
Yeah, press on the crack.
for me. Okay.
Hot dog in the bun.
Hot dog in the
Not
bun.
literally, but you're okay.
You're not, they know nobody's fucking. But people probably was fucking.
That's why I was asking.
But, I mean,
that is
as a
something
general-
that could happen. I was like, is that what was going on?
Oh, no, that wasn't going on.
Back in the day when you guys were coming up.
Oh, you put way too many A's in there. Way. I thought she was supposed to start singing gospel. Way in the water. Wait a minute.
Glory. Oh no.
So shout out to DC for getting it right. They had a movement going where the white, DC is gentrified, so it's mostly white people now, and all the niggas have been forced out to the suburbs in PG County, Maryland, where Brittany grew up. Suburbs, but affluent. But anyway, so now they're all out there, and they're
You wrong, yeah.
Right.
What I do? Wrong, yeah. And he threw F under the bus.
I wonder how much of this like you actually believe when you be adding in your
None of it.
None of it.
It's all
they know I'm
bullshit.
full of shit.
Bullshit.
Kick back, girls.
Yeah.
Niggas be harmonizing with me now.
JB, you heard it, right? Do it again.
Marky Harmony.
Kick back, girls. So they get one of my Nipsey Hussle awards, and of course it was the Grind and Shine award. But after Nipsey's passing, one of my favorite rappers, we wanted any achievement, any excellence and achievement in this award will have his name on it, so we don't let his name die down. So you always hear his name on our show every week. So our second Nipsey Hussle Award winner is Janae Dubois. You like how I did that, right? Yeah. And that's Winona from Good Times, who played the neighbor, the foster mother to Penny, the one that JB used to in the nighttime in the VHS when the dark and the parents went around and he was.
You're awful.
He would shoot. He would shoot himself.
That's also bullshit. Kick back.
You never jerked on to Winona? You never jerked on to Winona?
That is also bullshit.
So you never, okay. Beans, you never jerked on to Winona?
No, but I would.
She's dead now. You heathen.
To her obituary.
Huh?
That's a yes.
Nah, not Winona. At that age, it was Penny. And keep in mind, I was like 8, 9, and James Jackson's character was like 15. So, it wasn't that bad. And then, but what was her name? Charmaine. But she was on different strokes. I would have gave her some different strokes. Man. I tell you, I'm not playing with you. Do y'all remember different strokes at all?
Different strokes in the world.
I don't know.
It does.
Nah, I think that was.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
Through the world.
Not like that.
Huh?
I know the show, but not like that.
Okay. Oh, and for you guys who don't know, if you ever watched the Jeffersons, Janae Dubois sang the theme song to the Jeffersons. The beans don't burn in the kitchen. They don't burn on the grill. Took a whole lot to ride in just to get up that hill. Back in the big league, and not just that bad. Oh, you baby, ain't nothing wrong with that. So moving on up to the east side. We finally got a piece of the pie.
Selection this episode.
Sexy chocolate. Sexy chocolate. We're not
I
normally
really
like this.
can't believe. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is cute."
That
And
was
I
a
like,
choir.
"Oh, so
Choir?
We're gonna do the whole intro.
I showed out quiet.
Hey.
It
I
happens.
showed
This
out.
sofa karaoke is a real thing in here. You see these albums on the wall, you can grab any one off, put on the record player, and you have at it.
Quiet. We finally got a piece of pie.
It's the rock. I don't know what that was. I don't know. It was just weird. It felt right though. I wouldn't. trying to modernize it.
Chill.
I'm trying to get it modern.
What the fuck? We the best. Like,
Hey, I'm trying to modernize it.
What?
You feel me, right? Okay, well,
Like,
so
no.
okay, alright. So our Netflix and chill segment is going to start with. I want to say notebook.
Again.
The photograph. The photograph of some old ladies. Those about love, passion,
Gotta have the range.
stability. Huh?
You see the smoke?
Sounds like there's rain outside and they all.
Oh, the rain, the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So there's a lot of times where a man meets a woman, and it may not be the right time. But she meets a woman, and you let that woman know. And she, what the fuck was that? She's scratching on there. Hold on. She's scratching.
She felt that shit.
That was dope,
That
though.
shit.
That was dope,
Impromptu right there.
though. It threw me off, because I'm like, is she bringing it back? Like, what's going on here? What's going on here?
Spinderella in this book. Oh, man.
Yo! What a show.
That's a whole segment. We're gonna flip that whole piece and that shit on Instagram. Yeah. So the photograph. For y'all to know me, I know I'm crazy. I like all this crazy stuff, like Scarface and all this gangster shit. But I do love romantic comedies. I love romance movies. I love love. Mainly because I don't really experience it. Like, I'm a nigga, so I don't really go through all that, never marry all that shit. So when I see movies where it's like, I love you so much it hurts, I'm like, oh shit, that sound good. I want to love somebody so much it hurt. God damn. So I'm always like infatuated with these movies because they be feeling shit I don't be feeling. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna feel that shit one day. Break my heart. Oh, I love it. So I love movies because I don't experience love like that. So I'm like, oh, I bet that shit is crazy. And I was able to get that feeling from the movie in different scenes. When just even with him knowing that, well, spoiler alert, it's been weeks. You guys should have fucking seen the movie, Kickbackers. But it's a story of love. There was a gentleman trying to interview, I guess doing interviews for his newspaper, and he ran across another gentleman, and it was a photograph that caught his eye. He decided to explore that angle, and he wound up meeting the daughter of the woman who took the photograph. And they, through their weird way, they wound up beginning to date. Meaning they kept kind of bumping into each other, running into each other, and eventually decided to take it to the next level. Yeah, remember he saw him at the party?
No, but I think he was like supposed to go with her, right? But she ended up not.
No, I didn't know that part. I went to, I think I was in the bathroom. I might have been super. All I know is,
Like they didn't like weirdly bump into each other.
at that premiere, I didn't know, I think they were supposed to talk at some point. Like, we're going to talk and maybe we'll go out. And then they bumped into each other at the event. And she's like, I don't know you should be. He was like, well, you should have invited me. But like, he was more like,
no, he wanted to see her, so he bought tickets. You didn't see that?
I think I was in the bathroom.
library.
I was in the bathroom.
He was in like the library or something.
I was in the bathroom. You know, you go to the bathroom, you don't see the whole movie. And you tell the person, like, hey, let me know
So
if I missed
he, like,
something.
went after
And then
what
they
he
don't tell you the
wanted.
part you missed. And so you don't know what you missed. Boy.
Yeah.
That part wasn't that important.
Says the person who came to the, right? Who didn't tell you about what you missed.
So, well, what?
I'm sitting here like y'all looking at me.
Into each other. That was set up.
Well, thank you for telling me.
Cause somebody didn't.
Obviously, as soon as I started talking, y'all was like, you're wrong. I'm like, that's what I was led to believe. I have to get back to my team and go over our answer again. You ever do fake
He
you?
had went after her.
Yeah.
Like, he had wanted her, so he would set it up to where.
And so why didn't they go together? She just didn't go with him. She just blew him off?
No.
So why didn't they go together?
Because she didn't.
This is going to
I
be
don't
an
think
interesting
she
review.
had the capacity to know how to love someone like him.
Yeah.
Just to go
so
to that
she didn't-
date?
Yeah, so she didn't invite him like
But
out.
did-
They went on
right.
a date.
That was
After.
after that though.
What I'm saying is, did they have a plan to go to that particular event together? Or did they just bump into each other randomly at that event?
Well, it wasn't random for him. It was random for her.
He knew she was going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, did they have a conversation where he wanted to go with her and she was supposed to let him go with her?
No, she was supposed to call him, I think, and she never
About
did.
that event or just call him in
No,
general?
just call him in general.
Right, so they did bump into each other.
No, he knew she was going to be there. So
Well, that's
she
why
bought
he
tickets.
went. He bought tickets because he knew she was going to be there.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So he went for her. He's like, okay, you're not going to call me, then I'm going to pop up.
Okay, when you say he went for her, like, that's almost like, baby, yeah.
You know what I mean?
They, please. They,
How old is that phone? That tone sounds.
I don't know. Ask him.
No, I was asking.
Oh, that's a phone? That was like a little Game Boy or something.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh shit!
Throwback.
Hey, Jody.
I'm unbothered.
So I find it hilarious that all three of these motherfuckers saw the movie and sit here arguing over what happened.
Right.
Because I was right to begin with.
Well, he obviously don't know what was going on in the movie.
Oh my stars. Hold on. Well, I do know what's going on.
You didn't miss much. It was boring to me.
And I saw people saying that. I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a dude. I enjoyed the stuff about the mother, finding out those secrets. I enjoyed the fact that he was a little conflicted on how to move in a relationship. Because the nigga, we always a little like, and then when the little nieces was snitching, I was like, oh, this is crazy. They was like, you're not Ashanti? And she was like, who's Ashanti? My uncle knew that was Ashanti. Like, oh, that's Ashanti. Well, you know, you got it, you know what I'm saying?
But I don't think it was never him.
What was never him?
Anime.
What?
Anime Bola.
Go ahead. I don't
Like,
know.
no, like you said how he would like move in their relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the issue was her.
I agree.
I think for once he actually knew what he wanted, and no matter what, he was gonna try to figure it out. It was her.
It's
that
usually
didn't
the
know.
woman.
No, it's
No,
not.
that's not true.
That's not
and that's
true.
why I think the movie was so interesting, because it did allow women to understand how sometimes they can self-sabotage relationships. It's not always just the man. And then with finding out the background of her mom, you realize why it was so tough for her to love, because her mother didn't display that love. So I liked it in a sense of it did give like a full perspective of understanding people's frame of reference, and that being why people act and feel the way that they do.
That was a very incisive.
That was very professional.
That was excellent. Yeah, I actually kind of want to see the movie now.
You should.
But I feel like it only happened like that because they both were getting to know her past. A lot of times when that happens in our real world, people are not open with who they are and what they've been through. So it comes off as if like you're playing games when you just don't really know how to open up and don't know how to be your true self.
Right. And
Yeah,
people
that's
don't
real too.
communicate that.
Yeah, so
That's
Well
true.
said.
Yeah, and that's why I don't just over communicate. I'm gonna tell you what it is. You ain't never got a guess from me.
So I'm about to choke
wonder.
you right now.
Yeah,
So she's choking.
yeah. Let me know.
So in 3 minutes and 32 seconds, I'm going to choke
She
you.
said choke
Yeah.
10 times tonight.
Wow, but yeah, that's I'm gonna have those conversations. I don't think nobody on earth has to wonder how I feel about them or where we stand. I think all my niggas know, all ladies know. You know where you stand, where we high. I'm open book. I think that's key.
it is.
I think I'm a lot more open in my friendships than I am relationship-wise.
Why is that? Tell us more.
Thank you, Ariana. You going to fix my life?
I'm gonna try.
Tonight.
Give you an instance.
Tonight.
No, I mean, and it's funny because I am pretty guarded as far as like relationships are concerned, But you would be surprised because I grew up experiencing like my parents being together. They're still together. I saw a healthy marriage. Like my parents didn't like go off and argue in front of us. They would disagree, but to a certain extent, there were certain things that we didn't see or know or anything of that nature. So you would think like I would have be more open and be more vulnerable. But I'm not for some reason, and so yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, how I look at it is, were you gonna say something?
Well, I was, and I changed my mind.
No, go ahead. The floor is yours. This is your show. This is a pod named Deiondra.
I like the way that sounds, actually.
That's dope.
Well, I guess I'll go into what I was gonna say. I look at shit. Just had a brain fart. At least it was a sound one. Nobody got my punches now. Nobody got it. But funny. Okay, cool.
I got it.
Jamie, cut her mic off. Cut her mic off, Jamie.
You can tell who's more of the communicator, right? You have to go let you know.
Yeah, I'm too open.
No such thing.
Yes, it is.
You can be super open. Shout out to Terry Dennis, our mate from Australia, with a new podcast.
Yeah.
Super open. Me and JB are both on it.
Yeah. I'm fine.
Segue, promotion. Yeah, you should go on.
Why do you think you're too open, D?
I feel like I've experienced a lot more hurt than I should have. If I was more guarded, then I wouldn't have.
Okay, so your heart is open. You mean like open is like your heart is open as opposed to your communication style is open?
Yeah, well, I'm really, well, I don't think I'm too open communication-wise, but sometimes I feel like people don't know how to handle that, and they don't know how to take it and understand it.
Because when you're guarded with your heart, you're going to naturally be guarded with your communication as well. There's going to be certain things that you may feel or think, but you're not going to say.
But then, like, some people don't know how to communicate, mistake communication for
being
like arguing or being upset. So that's always been an issue too with me because I'm a very great communicator and I will communicate anything on how I feel.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel you. Me too. And it's doubly bad for me because of my voice. So I could be like, well, I think this. And it's like, well, you're yelling. I'm like, it's my voice. Rawr, it's my voice. Blame on my parents. I don't know what the fuck they do. It's my fucking voice. You sound so aggressive. It's my voice. I always sound this way. You want some TV dinner? It's how I talk. Who did you ever say on DMX? Hey, yo, this was answer number 4.
Nigga, we in a restaurant. Nigga, why are you yelling?
It's just breaking down like relationships and being guarded. And I had to tell a lady on Twitter the other day, like I would rather not be guarded and go into a relationship and get hurt because love is like the greatest thing to experience. So it's like if you always guarded, you'll never experience that great thing called love, right?
I agree.
I wonder who I told that to. Anyway,
You showing out, boy.
So our
that's what we was talking about the other night.
It was.
Me and Aaron was talking about that the other night.
and I saw the post.
Yeah, and so I asked a question on Twitter. And remember I told you, I said everybody chose being guarded was worse. Because we were trying to figure out, like, the question came up because she's like, well, I'm really open. And so I've, been hurt. And I'm not going to say that I haven't been, like, hurt. But it hasn't been, like, a heartbreak from love. It's been from something else. And so I was like, I wonder what's worse. Like, being so guarded that you don't experience love.
I mean, and then when I say love, I mean as far as not just, by a man, it could be any friendships, like any relationships.
Yeah.
I'm just open, period. Like when I love someone, I give them my all, no matter what relationship it is. I'm going to give you my all and be loyal to you. So that's more so.
I like that.
What I was talking about.
I feel you. And I don't really, I said this shit last night. I don't date strangers. I don't date somebody like, I don't know you, you don't know me, let's go on a date. Like I date friends, I date people that I know. And so
That's kind of weird.
It's weird.
I think what he means
how do you
is
get to know new people?
I think his.
Well, I kind of get to know them first before
But wouldn't
maybe.
that be a date?
Ooh, does this segue into what is considered a date?
Sure, let's do it. With me, like it's never, right? So there are women that I met on Monday and we went out Wednesday. So it's never. But as a general rule, I don't typically date total strangers. It's usually like I met you through a friend, or we were here before, or we were there before. It's not like, hey, my name is New. Hey, my name is Ashanti, and then we go on a date and I don't know you. Shout out to Ashanti though. But it's never like it's very rarely that. And that's just because my best relationships, most of my relationships started off, we were friends. We had like a legit friendship. So I don't know what it's like to date somebody romantically but not have a friendship. You know,
I like being comfortable.
I don't know. I've never looked at it as why I choose that. Is that what that speaks to?
I mean, I feel like it. You don't want to try something new. You like something that you already comfortable with.
Well, I don't know if I want to try something
dating
new.
Someone that you don't know, that's would be going out your comfort zone.
That's a good point.
That's a great point, actually.
Well, I do date women that I don't know very
The
well.
kind of
Like,
statements that make you go,
I'm saying, but there's still someone that you know that knows them.
right. But I mean, there of course
So it's
there
sense
are
of, like,
just
comfortability that.
that's what's normal. It's not 100% that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
just what's normal. That's if you could put a percentage on it, that's 70%. I don't know.
Okay.
But even like somebody on Facebook, you know, we might be chatting on Facebook or friends on Facebook, and we comment on each other's posts. I kind of get an idea of who you are a little bit, and then we may take it to the inbox, and then we may take it to the phone. But at that point, I know how you feel about Trump. I know how I feel about Tupac and Biggie. I know how you feel about sex toys. Well, you know, whatever we talk about on Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have an idea of who you are, and then if we date, I have that, whatever that idea is. Does that make sense at all? Am I
It does.
communicating? Okay. So it's not like it happens, but it's rare that I meet a woman on Friday and we talk twice and then we go out on a date and then we just start dating. That's rare, but it happens. I mean, it definitely happens, but it's just not as as prevalent as other times. What the hell was we talking about before we got on that?
being guarded and being open.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had something good for that. I had some good, or the photograph. I had something good about being guarded and being open.
Well, I was gonna say this. I mean, part of what happens in a relationship a lot of times is that whole guarded thing as a two-sided coin, because it's not only you shielding your emotions or how you think about certain things or how you want to act, but it's also how you feel about certain things that your partner does. In the early aspects of dating, we tend to hide things that irritate us for real because we want to make a good impression, you know? And that's not really, and that's not really being real and open, you know? Like, if your laugh gets on my fucking nerves, like, I probably need to indicate that early before it becomes a problem later. But that's the kind of bullshit that we hide sometimes in those early stages. That's another aspect of not truly being open. You know, that can happen.
I feel on that, and I don't date that way. I try to be my most. I'm a lot to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't easy to date me. It ain't easy to be my friend. I'm a lot, and these motherfuckers can tell you. So I want to know how much you can take. So I ain't trying to hide shit from you. I might throw some shit your way, like, how you gonna handle that? You know what I'm saying? I need to see what you gonna do so I can see how open I can be with you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't look at it quite that way. I try to be as open as possible, but I'm also not, like, Superman didn't go around telling people he allergic to kryptonite. So I'm not going around just giving you all my flaws and all my faults and all my, on day one. But at the same time, I need to know what you can deal with and what you can't. And I need to know that kind of early on. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I move into this shit. But I set the expectation that I'm super communicative. So it's like, I want to tell you and show you and
Yeah.
figure it out.
I mean, I think that people who are guarded, they still are effective communicators, and they're still able to be themselves. So with a guard, it's almost like your ability to let anyone in. I mean, I'm a guarded person, I've already said that. But even with my friendships, I'm not very trusting. And I don't call everybody my friend. Like, if I care about you or I deal with you, I do. If I don't, then I don't. So I still think that, like, it doesn't hinder me from being a good person or being a genuine person to my friends or in a relationship. It's just that I'm not going to be as quick to communicate how I feel about something, or give you information about me that's private. So that's not me not being me. It's just, well, how much of me do I want you to know?
At this point.
At this point, right. You have to, like, earn your stay with me. Like, some people operate in a you're innocent until proven guilty, but I'm kind of like you got to give me a reason to feel like I can trust you.
Absolutely. And I move very similar. And I know this is gonna sound like an oxymoron, but it's really not. But like I told you earlier, me and JB and our crew of 5 been best friends for 30 years. So, what you think I'll act with a nigga for 1 year? I met it a year ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bing told the story yesterday about when I started bringing him around. JB was like, "Hey, what's up, dog? Hey, how you doing?" And JB and Bing had to earn his way into JB.
I asked him one time, "What's wrong with your boy?" He said, "There ain't nothing wrong with him."
I just ain't know that nigga.
He ain't fucking with you.
I just ain't know that nigga. That's my dog. Like, that's my brother.
Jeremy's been around. He's been around me 8 years. Around JB even longer. And shit, Nicole been here for 5 years. How long you been, Nicole?
What?
Been like 5 years. How long you been around? 3 years. How long has it been? 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so boom. So I'm guarded. It takes a lot to get into my circle, but I don't disqualify you for bullshit. So I can. It's levels to this shit. So you can be here and we're great. You can be here and we're great. Mm-hmm. You can be up here and we're super great. But like, this isn't a bad place. This is just your place for now.
Right.
And, you know, whatever. So I agree with that shit. I'm not gonna put anybody in. Exactly. It's like, I know what friendship really is. I know this nigga since I've known him since I was 10. We've been fucking brothers since I was 12. So I know for real what friendship is. I know what it's like, you know, to be disappointed, to be angry, to be hurt, to be saved, to be counseled, to be loved, to be picked up on your worst day. I got 30 years of that. So when I meet you tomorrow, I'm not, it's, you know, what I'm gonna call you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's actually knowing that, you know what I'm saying? And it was like what I was telling Deiondra earlier. I was like, you know, you seem like a good person. You seem genuine, but I've known you for like 4 hours. I can't really call you my best friend. And she had the whole best friend thing. We should do the best friend thing. I'm like,
don't do that.
All right, okay.
Don't do
I'm not
that.
gonna do it.
Unprofessional.
He's about to go there and she was like, "No,
Don't do it. All right, so we got, have you guys seen, so the photograph, see it or don't see it? I say see it.
I say see it, and I say to see it, it's like a learning thing for me. That's why I loved it. I mean, of course, there wasn't a lot of action in it, but it really did give like kind of a real depiction of what happens and why things happen.
But you gonna be checking your phone while you watching it.
Like, at least go somewhere
She
to
was
get
like,
a drink
sit
to
through
eat
it,
too.
sit
You got
I was eating.
You didn't have a drink? You
Please
have a
go
drink?
to the dine-in movies.
Yeah, so you didn't go to
You know,
that.
Santa Beach. I did.
But I will say it was great acting.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I love the
really
character.
good acting.
Lakeith Stanfield, Issa Rae, Lil Rel, the 2 little kids that kept snitching.
I mean, it felt
great.
real. I will say that. Like, I think it was some great acting.
Yeah. So that's 2.5 stars from us.
Dirt.
Out of how many?
Well, only out of 3, because they gave us things. Out of us 3,
Okay.
he got 2.5 out of 3. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Go see it. You give me your money. Black movies, black owned business, and all that good shit.
Absolutely.
Snoop Dogg, who is the person who hurt Brittany back in the day, that has her so guarded. Snoop is going to be on Red Table Talk Wednesday, guys. Facebook TV, and you guys know we made Facebook popular doing podcasts on Facebook. But shout out to Jada for doing her thing too. And Snoop is gonna be on because we started that shit, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, we started it, but it's not neither here nor there. Mark Zuckerberg. Anyway, so Snoop Dogg is gonna be on the Red Table Talk discussing his comments about Gayle and the issue with it and the apology for it and the next steps to move so we don't ever repeat. And this isn't a beat up Snoop thing. This is just, we're bringing knowledge to the people. And I've said this for about 2-3 months now. Jada Pinkett is our real life Olivia Pope from Scandal. She's the fucking gladiator. She's the fixer. Whenever you do something wrong, if you fuck your best friend's husband, go on Red Table Talk. If you take your daughter to the doctor and you check her hymen, go on Red Table Talk. If you just go on Red Table Talk. Just go in there. Jada, Pinkett Smith, Olivia Pope is gonna fix it. And I love the fact that she has that platform, and I love the fact that that's how she's using it. She isn't beating our brothers up, our sisters up. She's having real conversations. She's pushing the culture forward, and she has the amazing ability to show you where you were right and where you were wrong without a lot of judgment. And then you get 3 generations of black women. So you got, from my age group, you got the mother, hey mom, sorry mom. You got Jada, hey sis, I'm sorry sis. And then you got Willow, hey daughter, I'm sorry daughter. Or whatever you're doing, so you get it from all 3 perspectives. And the black woman's voice on the 3 generations that's most likely alive still is just, it's an incredible show. I love it to death. And I'm glad Snoop is on there, and I can't wait to see what that conversation is like. Because Snoop is older and mature, but he is still bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. That's how we met him. You know what I'm saying? So I want to hear about his journey, because I know he doesn't think that anymore. I know he doesn't think that. He might have thought Gayle was a bitch for what she did, but he ain't still going around bitches ain't shit. He's married with daughters.
And the gospel album.
And the gospel album. And the reggae album.
He was high and emotional.
Yeah. He was high and emotional. Kobe had just died.
It just happened.
What do you got, ladies? What are your thoughts? You can take it any angle what Snoop said, the whole point of him going on the show, about Red Table Talk, wherever you want to go with this. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I love Snoop. I'm just glad that he gets the platform to just really set the record straight on, how he meant it and apologize and stuff. So I don't really have any other thoughts on it.
All right. Brittany. Look at them kids up there.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
Willow Smith. That's Willow and them.
What's going on?
I mean, I have to agree with Deiondra. I'm actually kind of excited to see how Snoop explains himself. I'm sure he's going to go into detail about how he felt about it and why he felt so strongly about it, and actually give the facts behind why he said what he said, not how he said it. Obviously, he should probably apologize for how he said it.
And he did.
But yeah.
He did.
Yeah, and oh yeah, he did. And he said, I apologize for how I said it, but I don't apologize for,
how I felt.
Or how I felt.
Right.
I felt the same way.
And I agree with that. And I think now that everything's settled down, he's going to be able to give a more diplomatic, a more practical explanation for why Gayle was wrong for what she did. So I'm excited.
And she was wrong.
And from what I hear, it's actually supposed to be a deeper interview than that, because we're talking about someone who has a history of, quote, misogynistic, unquote, behavior. And they're supposed to delve into all of that during this interview process. So that'll be really interesting to hear that whole. I mean, again, as New said earlier, this is the guy. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. We can go back to the Wiz Khalifa movie he did, the classic scene. Bitch. This is that dude. You know what I'm saying?
High School High.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my favorite good movies. That's one of my favorite movies.
That's
all
it's so funny.
We watch that movie sober all the time.
Right. The same way we're sober right now.
Yeah. So
right.
This would be good. It'll be good
So
to have that, to
good,
see
bro.
that conversation between Snoop and the Popes, or the Pinkies, whatever you want to call them. They are the gladiators, man.
They do some real
Jada got
stuff.
the white hat on.
Yeah,
And I actually watched. Did you watch Kevin?
I did actually.
Did
The
you
first
watch that?
season, of course.
Okay, so yeah, Jada got the white hat on.
Yeah, for sure. And handled it.
Shit, I'll be the president for Jada. I'm not, I'll be Fitzgerald, you know, damn my Jada. Jada was my first Ashanti.
Okay.
Well, actually, y'all know Tracy Spencer is? Tracy Spencer was like a child star in like 84 or some bullshit. That's Michelle Lane. That's Michelle Lane.
Oh, you right. I'm wrong.
Tracy Spencer was in Imagine. John Lennon, Imagine. Tender kisses blown away. We doing way too much singing this episode. But that was my first, because I think I was like 11 and she was 12. And I was like, it's meant to be. They were so close in age. I'm going to be a rapper, she's a singer, it's going to happen. And then, of course, he went on the Ashanti. But Jada, I met Jada. And so I met a lot of stuff because BET used to be in D.C. And it was in my neighborhood, so I was just always giving. I was so in love with Jada. And when I saw her, that's all I got out of her. Look at Jada Pinky, yeah. Hey, Miss Jada. That's all I said. She said, hey, boo. I'm like, yeah. And I ran home. I was like 15, but whatever.
I was definitely expecting the story to be better than that.
No, that was all it was. That was
That's
it.
the Jada and Snoop right there.
Yeah. We was watching earlier. Yep. So everybody tune in Wednesday. We definitely gonna watch it. For Life by 50 Cent. Is anybody watching that?
I
Yep.
am.
I am too.
It's dope.
I love it.
I love it. I like.
It's
Well,
so good.
Speak on it.
I mean, I just really like it.
What do you like about it? Don't do this. Don't be guarded with me. Open up. Be open. Communicate. Communicate with me.
Go ahead, Brittany.
Well, actually, Deiondra put me on the show.
Okay.
And so,
Well, you're on it?
you know what I meant. Like, she put me on to the show. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I'm going to watch it. And I was like, I kept looking at her like, yo, this is so good. Like, I was getting so excited. Like, I was ready to see certain things that were happening in the show. And I was like, yes, and cheering and stuff like that. So the show is like, it's really good. I like it a lot. And isn't it, it's based on, not literally a true depiction, because I think it said like similar or something like that. But isn't it like, there's a real situation like that.
Yeah,
and they're basing the show off of that.
Yeah,
right?
the character Isaac was actually arrested wrongfully in prison, and he did study law. He did get his law degree. He did start defending other inmates, and he did defend himself, and he is out of jail now. And he took that story to someone, and they took that story to 50. That is true. Some of the things that happened with the political side and outside of him doing his case, some of those are fictitious to make the story more interesting.
Right.
But it is literally about, because if you just say that there was this guy who was in jail and then he defended someone and got out, that's a cool story. But that's one storyline. To make it a good show, you have to have what happened with his family, what happened with the political people on the other side. So they, they put icing on the cake to make it more, palatable. Yeah. But it is a really good show. I enjoy it. I watched both episodes the same day. Whatever day Tuesdays, whatever day episode 2 came out, I watched one right before it on Fire Station on Friday, and then I watched episode 2, and I'm like, yo, okay, this shit good. Like I'm rocking for them rocking.
Yeah.
I'm rocking. You got one, because I was a little upset about the whole Tariq killing Ghost, and even though I predicted it, I mean he got to know his shit. You
did predict it, because I think we talked about the predictions the last time I was on the show.
Yeah.
And I did say that I thought it was going to be somebody, not even any of them. Because I was like, Tariq, that was too obvious. But for me, I was like,
I
that
knew it
was
was
too
going to be Tariq and
obvious.
Tasha doing a plot together. That's what I did.
They was building Tariq's character up too much to hate his daddy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, too much.
Have y'all seen the cartoon? I'm gonna see that cartoon. Yeah, the cartoon. Some little sketch comedian or whatever. They did a cartoon of the episode that Ghost got shot. So 5-6 episodes ago. but it's a cartoon and it's a satire and it is so crazy. It's the funniest shit I've seen all fucking 2020. It's like 3 minutes. I'll show y'all when the show over. What music are y'all listening to?
Well, my playlist is very broad, but you know, I like Broadway, Threads of Sean, stuff like that.
Yeah, Deondra's playlist is extremely diverse.
Then I like, then I have like slow music.
Well, we have a pod named Kickback playlist. It was just on Choker Struck. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, thank you so much for asking me. I've been listening to Tink's new album.
I did ask you. Tink.
How is it?
Yeah, it's pretty good, right? Cut it out. Cut it out.
I mean, I like Cut It Out.
I like Cut It Out.
A few songs.
But I'm not gonna lie, I be riding to 2 or 3.
I didn't even know.
Okay.
Yeah. I like Doggy Style too.
Most women do.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the song.
Oh, okay. I know.
That's it?
No.
That's it. He came in so smooth too, like most women do. So do I.
Hopeless Romantic is a nice one too.
Yeah, I like that song.
Come on, listen to that shit.
I downloaded it and I put Cut It Out on the playlist, but I haven't gone through it all. But I've been listening to our partner Kickback playlist, which is available on Apple or Spotify. And just to give you an idea, we got the Life is Good remix by Future featuring the Baby and Lil Baby. We got Stain by A Boogie with the Hoodie featuring the Baby. I'm On Money by Plies. Bless with Need a Minute. Yo Gotti Like That featuring A Boogie.
That's
Oh
tight.
yeah. And you know what's funny? Yeah, I used to call them DVSN, but it is Division.
Yeah.
And I never knew it was Division.
It's just now
I was
I'm just
always
so used
calling
to saying
them. Me
DVSN,
too.
but yeah,
that's
Division.
funny. They sampled the Jay-Z Dead Presidents beat and they just made it so fucking gangster. Overcomer Voices 5'9", his full album dropped Friday. Me and JB were listening to some of the skits. It's pro-black, power to the people, get your money, say the black race.
Yeah,
that
him with his daughter is dope. Yeah, it's dope.
Raekwon from Wu-Tang fame dropped a new EP. I threw one of his songs on there. Of course, we see Division, Her, Comfortable from
Yeah. I like that.
The Photograph.
Oh, he down with that one.
Janae Aiko has a new song called Pussy Fairy.
Like that one too.
Yeah. And Free Nationals. That's Anderson Paak's band. They have a full album out with different singers and rappers on it. And my God, the song with Daniel Caesar, and they got a song with Sid from the internet.
Oh, I love
Oh,
her.
I like her.
I love
Deondra
Sid
put me
and
on
the
her.
Internet.
Get the Free Nationals album. It is like it's like a Quincy Jones. Well, that's before your time. It's like a Dr. Dre Chronic album. It got all the good people on it, and they're a live band and it's
Like
real
a
music.
opus. Yeah.
Pop Smoke is on here. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
Indeed.
Lil Wayne tracks from his new album on there. We got the new Megan Thee Stallion, B.I.T.C.H., which is a remake of Tupac's N.I.G.G.A. I'd rather be N.I.G.G.A. so we can get drunk and smoke weed all day. It don't matter if you're lonely, baby. You need a thug in your life. The buses ain't loving you right. That's Tupac. But Megan Thee Stallion remade it. And she be like, I'd rather be B.I.T.C.H. Cause that's what you call when you
Oh, y'all put me on
anyway.
some. I did not know that.
Yeah. And Pac like my favorite rapper, so like exactly. Nicki Minaj got a new track, Yank Song. Griselda. Boom, 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 boom.
So, what do you think about Yikes?
I'm not a Nicki fan. I like her lyrics. I like her rapping ability. I don't like her as a human being. So it's weird for me, but
That's real.
Yeah.
Nicki can spit. I can't take that away from her. I'm not a big fan of Eminem as a human. He can spit.
So you don't think that Nicki,
So going Meek?
well, I wasn't going to say that, but you don't think that Nicki's very similar in the lyrics that she uses and what she like talks about? Like, she says a lot of the same things over. And I'm not saying she can't spit. I like Nicki. I just miss the itty bitty piggy Nicki.
Every girl that I know, woman I know under the age of 30, has said to me at one point, I miss the itty bitty piggy Nicki. And you know why that sticks out to me so much? I never heard the song until like last year. But it is When I heard Nicki, there was no itty bitty biggie. It didn't exist. But like y'all, she had a real connection with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've heard that so many times. Like you heard it, Jamie. Our old co-hosts all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, that song must have really resonated.
Oh yeah. She
But
was
that
off
style,
in
that moment.
Yeah, but it was the style. It was also what she was saying. Like her lyricism was dope. Like it was different. I think she was a little bit more hungry then, and you can tell that. Now it's kind of like I'm the best out, so like I can put out music and I mean when you get to a certain level, I think we can all agree that certain people with certain music is just like, dang, it's not like it was before.
Yeah, she started becoming more focused on like making people transgender. Like, all you bitches is my sons. Like, what? My son? Are they transgender? You know what I'm saying? It's just weird. It's just weird. This never mind. So we got Moneybag Yo with Lil Baby. We got Kevin Ross on the DMV. Shout out to Kevin Ross, R&B artist, killing it. Her Slide with fucking Pop Smoke, rest in peace. And Boogie with the Hoodie. Melly. Like, y'all listen to Melly?
I like Melly a lot.
Melly the shit. Melly is my favorite female artist as of right now. Maybe Snow Allegra, but probably Melly.
Okay.
She does the sing rap. She's like the female Drake. But her shit, like, man.
Which song do you have?
I have No Hard Feelings off the most recent EP.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna try to sing it. There's no rock. Max B coming home. His new EP is on. I got one of his tracks from that feature. He coming home. He come home 2020. He be home a couple months. He come home a couple months.
The community descendants?
Yeah. He come home in a couple months.
On what grounds? You know?
I mean, I'll tell you off camera. Okay.
You scared?
No, I'm saying I'm glad he come home
He
and get that boy
He
life.
coming? No, I'm just
Get
playing.
that boy life.
I'm messing with you here. He coming home? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Yeah.
Let me get the plus.
Right. You ain't right.
Someone walk
Under
up.
what grounds, you know? Did they tell him who snitched?
Oh shit!
That's all I can think about when you did it.
Do you know I'm here?
Y'all get that.
Am I on camera or off camera? I didn't even know.
Yeah, y'all did y'all thing. Y'all get one try piece. Y'all not try.
I'm just joking.
As you mentioned, Tink, I got cut it off. We mentioned her album, Alina Baraz. To me, is one of my favorite songs. That's the song she said. I'm not asking for too much. I'm asking the wrong motherfucker. I was like, oh shit! Who is that? Alina Baraz.
I remember that song. I like that cut.
Which song?
This is R&B. It's called To Me. And it's Alina Baraz. And she literally sings, I'm not asking for too much. I'm just
that's
asking
where
the
that
wrong
came from.
motherfucker. I think she took it from Instagram.
Oh,
put it
I
in her
see.
song.
Okay, that
But
makes
it's, we got Redman. He got a new song called Slap the Shit Out You. That shit is fucking hilarious. Shout out to Redman. We got the same birthday. New Eminem with Anderson .Paak. Shake got some new shit. Bad Bunny. Jesse Reyes and Black. My nigga Black is killing everything he touched.
Yeah, for sure.
Baby Rose, Kalani, Wale, Meek Mill, and then we finished with the Griselda niggas. Pussy coming, nigga. You want to play this, don't you? I sent it to you. Don't even worry about it. I know. Everybody wants to. You can find it on Spotify or Apple Music. It is a pod name. JB, what's the name of the playlist?
It's a pod named Kickback.
All right, so before we get out of here, and we about to get up out of here because I gotta take a piss. So, sports really quick. And I know that you watch football. I don't know why you watch it, but I guess you just fell into the game some kind of way magically.
I know, right?
But
Sanders. Just
the
saying.
NFL is going a little softer on weed. So Stephen A doesn't have to say, stay off the weed every day because the standards are being a little lowered. And I'm going to toss to you, Deiondra, because you kind of researched this a little bit. Can you break down to us what's going on with that?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, they're not lowered yet.
Okay. Correction
They have
one.
to do a vote on it. So right now it's still 50-50. But I feel like a lot of the owners or the team owners are asking because a lot of their players are getting caught. So that's why they want to go for it. What they're asking is for testing, instead of a 4-month period, they only get tested 2 weeks before training camp. So that'll be a lot better for a lot of players who really need to smoke, who can't go 4 months.
Right.
They want to change the, what was it?
So it was
nanograms.
Nanograms is how much THC they detect in
from 35 to 150.
Correct.
Yeah, and they want to change the consequences.
Right. So
and the fines. So.
Right. No longer a minimum 3-game suspension if you're caught over the threshold. But the other thing is, it's actually a reaction to what the MLB is doing. Major League Baseball is basically eliminating marijuana as a banned substance entirely, right? So this is basically a reaction to what the MLB is doing. It's still under vote, and I like to say that the NFL never likes to admit when they need to back off of shit. So they're trying to ease their way back with this.
I mean,
shit.
I feel like it's not fair because in some states that
Exactly.
they have teams, it's legal. So
Exactly.
I feel like they have to do something.
What about the Denver Broncos? Like
Or the Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
Or the LA Chargers Rams.
right.
Or the Saints.
Or the Las Vegas when they change next year.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Right.
But once they do vote, it still won't take place till 2021. So.
Or the Wakanda Warriors. You know, they got to change down Black Panther.
And that'll help Russia out a lot. Russia's always in doping scandal. Russia.
It's fucked up because these players are millionaires. They travel all over the country, and this is one of the things, and it's real today. Like in today's market, you know, a company has a drug testing policy, but what if I went to DC or Colorado or any of these places,
Or Wakanda.
you know, a month ago before I had to take this drug test, and then they randomized my ass, and I was doing this nigga always whatever. Like, but I'm doing something perfectly legal.
Yeah.
Outside of the constraints of my job, which is again perfectly legal. This shit happens a lot nowadays, which is why a lot of companies are just backing off of drug tests entirely, because you can't really do it. It's not really fair. You know what I'm saying?
Big rap.
I think that you guys all said it very eloquently. I couldn't agree more.
Considering
Alright.
tonight's activities, right? I said that out loud. I'm sorry.
Relax, Jimmy. You gotta relax.
Shut up.
Let's see. Okay, since we have our NFL insider here, where's Tom Brady gonna play next year? I know he told you.
I love it.
You know, I haven't got a chance to ask him yet, but
Okay.
even though they say that, what is it? They want to see him at the Titans because his old teammate is the coach now.
Yeah, but they were saying a lot of things. The Titans thing makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, but
If he leaves.
I mean, I just feel like that he's gonna retire soon. Why not just ride it out?
The Patriots.
Where you been at? Like, you gonna retire soon anyways. You done won there. Why change so late in the game?
If you don't have to.
Yeah.
At first, people were thinking that Bill Belichick was pushing him out
Yeah.
the door, but now it seems like the door's open if you want to come back.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it's like if a woman doesn't appreciate you, and you be like, hey, y'all take a break, and I'm gonna go on a date. Like we're not working out, but I'm going on a date because you didn't appreciate what you had. And I think that's where Tom Brady is. He's like, oh, you don't appreciate me. I just want to see what it's like. And I think that he can be seduced. Because I know if Ashanti ever get me, I'm going to get her with So if Ashanti do let her go for a second, he might not get her back. And I think that's the danger with the Patriots. They push Tom Brady to the point where he wants to see. He probably still wants to go back because that's who he loves. That's who he's been with for 18 years, 20 years.
You just want to see the change.
Yeah, but if depending on what you see, you might not get your girl back. Sorry, my bad. But you might not get her back, and that's how I feel about Tom Brady. Tennessee has a very compelling argument to make. They were in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
They beat Baltimore with a lesser quarterback.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Henry's killing.
yeah, you fuck around and go to a better woman that treats you right and that will shoot herself. It's hard to go back to the girl you can't choke.
Yeah, we went back.
It's hard to go back to a girl you can't choke. That's what I'm saying. What do you think, Britt?
About about what?
He said a lot, didn't he?
Okay. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on. I want to thank you for your return visit. Always a pleasure. You have an open invitation.
Thanks for having us.
I want to thank you for taking time out your busy schedule to come fuck with us. Appreciate it. And I think I did say it, but like your father was my favorite place all the time. So it's really kind of awkward and cool to be like, because you know what I'm saying? Like when you grow up watching somebody like, I love you, my nigga. It's your daughter. Who messing with her? Like, I'll fuck him up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really cool. I don't want all my niggas back home was like, you been a Cowboy fan? Like, I know. So it's like, it's crazy. And I respect the fact that you got your own shit going and you popping and you doing your thing. And I've watched how people have responded to you because I do research on every guest. So I'm watching and I saw like the presence and the responses to you. And I know you doing your thing, man. That's gangster. I respect it.
Thank you.
I respect it. JB, I've been watching you too.
For a long,
For
long
30
time.
plus years.
30 fucking years.
Well, I want to thank the Kickbackers for tuning in. We try to bring you the best content we can bring you. We try to bring you the best guests we can bring you. We know sometimes you get tired of JB, you be like, damn, no, bring somebody else on with you. I don't want to hear what JB got to say all the time. And I try to bring you guests. And I bring you guests. And I try to bring you the best that we can bring you.
Bullshit.
And, one time for the Kickbackers in the building. Put it. Follow us. What can they follow you guys? That's what we're doing. That's what
Well, I'm Brittani Sade, and you can follow me at Brittani Sade on all social media, and that's BRITTANISADE, like the singer Sade.
And it'll be in the description of the podcast, so you don't have to try to remember it. I'll type it out. JB will type it out correctly because I might miss it. Go ahead, your turn.
Deiondra Sanders. It's on all platforms. You can follow me at Deiondra Sanders. DEIONDRA Sanders.
Like Bernie.
Damn, really? Wow.
Oh, like Dion. So shit, let's get up out of here. Any last words? Anybody?
This was fun.
Okay, make it good. Somebody give me a good one-liner or something.
Ladies, there's nothing better than a perfect pH balance and peace of mind.
Hey.
Ooh, okay. That was your one-liner, agree?
Yeah. It's been real.
It's been real. Boom. JB, you got something?
Hey man, good night and God bless y'all.
I'm trying to think of one of them weird-ass toasts I used to do. Like you can shake your hand and you can shake your fist, but you can't shake your fist. Stupid-ass things. I will do a toast. May your pockets stay full of money. May your glasses stay full of good drink. This world is full of shit. One life, one love.
I think I want to toast to that.
Yeah, I like the first
Out
part.
of the pockets full of money.
Yeah, I like the first
There we
part.
go.
I got a pocket full of money.
Hey, let's get out
Uno,
of here.
we out. Oh, we got to do our Kobe Bryant. Mama out.
There we go.
There you go.
And that's it. Thank you, ladies. That was a motherfucking blast.
Oh, this show gonna be 18 hours because this button.
Yeah, this motherfucker's long as
Nah, I'm talking about.